every Saturday by 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Co-facilitator Robert and Tom Barry Sibe, Eugene Ebels, and the controls will
on
be
Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, the voice of the people.
Hello, Mr. Ross. Good morning. Hello?
Hello,
Mr.
Annie.
Ross.
How are
Yes.
you?
Very well, thank you. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Good morning, Mr. Ross.
Are we having technical issues today?
No, we're not having. I hope you can hear me.
No, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay. Annie, is Annie there?
Yes,
I
Annie.
just want to answer Annie with that voice she uses to convince us.
Looks like we lost Annie, so we'll just wait a bit. And
Annie's here. Hello, can you hear me?
hello.
Hello, Ross, can you hear me? I can hear you. Hello, Mr. Ross.
Are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
This is Today 95.1 FM. To copy this tune, press 9.
This is Today 95.1 FM.
For current news and information, press 5.
They are politicians, all of them. They know what they do.
So they know how they attack each other.
And
To stay connected all day, press 1.
The person who raised the alarm is the one who made the public know about
Good afternoon and welcome to the World News on your Premium Talk Radio station.
We are your premium talk radio station. Today 95.1 FM, the station with a unique dial.
Hello, Mr. Ross. Good morning. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
show.
Yeah, where was that noise from? The engineer.
Well, I don't know if you can hear. I can't hear you clearly from here.
Yeah, we can. Okay.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Fire incidents have become a regular occurrence, with thousands of lives and millions of properties lost every year in this country. Hardly a day passes without news of a fire outbreak in some part of the country, causing fear and panic among the people. Needless to say, we need to remind ourselves of the possibility of an outbreak at any time. This is what is likely to prevent us from being taken by surprise. Always put off appliances when not in use. Do not overload electrical sockets. Fuel your generator before, not when in use. Avoid fixing electrical faults personally when you apparently do not have the skill. Keep the candle on a candle stand.
It takes only a minute for a fire to get out of hand. In case of a fire outbreak, please call the fire service hotline 070-315-221-99. This message is brought to you by your premium talk radio station, Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
Hello? Hello, Mr. Ross.
Obviously, we can't hear Annie, right?
Yes, but we can hear you.
So I think you can go on here.
That would be strange if we can't hear it from the studio.
Don't worry, I can hear you.
Okay, so that's fine. So we go ahead?
Yes, let's go ahead.
That's true. All right. Okay, good morning, Port Harcourt. And thanks, Annie. I guess we had a bit of technical issues.
Yes, we did.
And I'm sure we got that sorted out. It's usually like that when you're trying to implement some kind of not technology. We're coming from the cloud, like we say. So good to have you, Annie. Thanks to you and our guys at the studio, the technical guys who've tried to fix this. Good morning, our listeners. And our crew is all here, spread around. Eugene Bells, exile as usual in Abuja. Eugene, good morning.
Morning.
And Robinson Tibe just got back yesterday, so glad to have you back, Robinson.
Good morning.
And Annie, good morning too. We're hoping that we will some clear up very soon, so that we can start hitting the studio. So trust me, Robinson particularly likes the fact that we're doing this online.
Yes, I think Robinson is spoiling for this to continue.
Robinson, and I have to report you here. Robinson likes this online version.
I'm talking from my desk.
Apologies again. But then this is something that we really need to get used to. A lot of corporations, the biggest corporations in the world, they are actually implementing different kinds of technologies and methods to help them continue working and then still remain as productive. Most of the big corporations in Nigeria are actually on 20% capacity at the offices. So most of them are actually working from home. And now the pressure of working from home is that you really do not have a closing time. And so it has become such that they are more productive. I was talking to one of my friends who works for Total, and he's like, "Ben Ross, I'm actually working from the house, but right now I don't have a closing time. So usually I close by 4, but right now by 10 p.m. I'm still checking my mails and responding to mails and making sure that." So there's a lot of pressure that comes with this kind of scenarios as well. But then, good thing we are adapting, and then we're moving forward. So, gentlemen, a lot of things happening in the country, and I think the balance here are always tilting towards security. We have this bit of, and I'm going to ask you to comment on something the Minister of Transport said on I'm sure you listened to that. You listened to that interview. We have this brain crisis. Children getting kidnapped.
All right, good. So you're good to go, Mr. Ross.
All right. So, still towards security as always. We have a lot of security challenges in the country, and this is raising calls from several areas of the country, several parts of the country. Just yesterday, we had the governor of Kaduna State, His Excellency El Rufai, talk about restructuring and state police. And then he said something. What he said that was really remarkable was that it lies on the National Assembly to give us state police. And he said again that these senators actually come from states, and that most of the governors actually influence the election of these senators. And then he posed the question, why can't the governors come together and insist, pressure their senators to adopt state policing? So, Mr. Ebert, I know you've been on this topic before, talking about state policing, and then you've been very vocal about it. Do you think it will be that easy for the National Assembly? Because I know the president still has to approve and sign up for that to become law. Do you think that do you think there's something the governors can do? And if El-Rufai has just put this formula that makes it look really easy for the governors, do you think it's something that every governor will want to jump on?
Yeah. The politics security was used to play politics at the time. Now the chicken has come home to roost, and we must be very clear that there's no internal party democracy, and because of that, which is what the governors who fund the parties say, that's what happens in terms of those who go to the National Assembly. Then, so if the governors, for one, sit down and begin to articulate their positions like Zulum, El-Rufai, Makinde, begin to talk about regional, doing peer review, regional cooperation, and a general matter that affects everybody, which is security, they will naturally call those voices to order in the National Assembly. Now, even if the president refuses to attend, they will they'll force them to, what's that word that they use?
Veto?
Yes, they'll veto it. Yeah. Now, but they don't need to be encouraged because the fact and the necessity for something to be done about security is so overwhelming and is affecting everybody. So, people used to think it was just in Niger that thing. Later, people thought, oh, it's just a.
So I think we lost Eugene. Robinson, I'm sure before Eugene gets back on, you get what that question is. What's your take?
Sure. I think it's inevitable that we look in the direction of state police. I know the argument is always that of abuse by governors, but the truth of the matter is that this is like the case of I think somewhere in the Bible, Second Kings, I think, where the beggars were at the city gate and they said, if we stay here, we will die. If we go, we will stay likely die. So let us go and stand the chance of eating, at least. The same thing. The current situation is not sustainable. We cannot continue in this manner where school children are kidnapped. It's now like a sport of bandits. And the thing with this banditry is that before now we used to know that there was a Boko Haram. We knew the central negotiation point. Now there's this multicellular organ where you don't even know who is kidnapping. Kidnapping it's now like a national sport in Nigeria. And we're here, we're probably even having a bit of respite at the southern part of Nigeria where it used to be the hotbed before. But currently, from what I read on papers, from what I hear from people, even at the Federal Capital Territory, the figures are bad. I mean, people have been picked up while jogging early in the morning and all of that. So it's something that the governors actually, like El-Rufai said, can add another layer of pressure to their legislators. Even if it's a constitutional issue, so it's going to come back to the respective state legislators to get endorsement, because I think it's a major constitutional issue which will require 2/3 of the states to actually endorse, I think so. So even if it comes to that, the governors still have a big role to play. So yes, they do pressure the system to produce presidents and deputies, that's governors. So if they can come together and put pressure for political gains, they can also come together and put pressure for such structural shifts such as this. It's important. It's more than necessary that we look in the direction of state policing, because we can't continue like this.
I agree with you completely. And just before we get Eugene Bells back, the rift between governors and commissioners of police who do not report to them has become a major issue, especially states like River State, where the governor is always apprehensive of the commissioner of police that is coming to the state. And the moment you have that kind of apprehension, it becomes really difficult for you to want to have that working relationship, or foster a good working relationship with the commissioner of police, because you're not operating from the place of trust. And so I think for the governors, it's something that they really, really need to consider. And then we saw Sheikh Gumi has been doing some work. Some people call it reconciliatory work. Hello, Mr. Abels. Welcome back.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're talking about Gumi right now, and then, sorry, we caught you went off before you finished what you were saying, so I think I'll just give you the time to just round up what you were saying.
Basically what I'm saying is that chicken has come home to roost, and like they say in the area, you see fire for a neighbor house, say reach your side. So now it's a national concern. But I'd like to take it to the next level. I've always complained that whenever we have a problem, Nigeria goes back to create an agency. The nation, the government, reels back almost getting into the war instead of confronting those things. That's why that they have created institutions to manage those processes. So today, we are going to beg people who took our children with 800 million naira. Today, in the whole of Port Harcourt has two levels of government. One at the First Avenue, the other one at every enclosed area run by called groups called execs who are given mandates and targets to return money. So our people are double taxed by the government, Internal Revenue Board, by the cult groups, and by the police checkpoints, which are created with. But yeah, so there are three levels of taxation on the people, and the people have become. The people have stopped thinking. The people have become docile, so they keep shifting back. Like the government is shifting, the institutions are shifting back, accommodating, negotiating, tolerating. The people are also negotiating, shifting back. And how we go do now? How we go do now? And leave and then go waste your time, forgetting that one confrontation will ensure that that does not happen again. The Minister of Defense made a statement. Yes, coming from him, it might sound one kind. But in reality, if Abalama people say you know go enter that their community, you know go feed to our now inside that they call outside that.
Why do you use Abalama for this example now?
Yes, if Abalama people say you know go feed enter, and equipment full everywhere. So it is time for the governors for us to start having thinking governors. Unfortunately, the kind of governors we have now are our third level. So it is we, the people who employed them, who must put pressure on the system. If we have to riot, we riot. If my child was there, I would be on the street. Oh. If my child was there, if my daughter was there, every day I'll be in front of Villa, just like I took coffee to Jordan Barracks. People have done things, and suddenly all that history has been swept away. People don't know how to make their demands known. So the people who are supposed to represent you have turned security to a cash cow, and people are striking deals. As far as I'm concerned, what has happened in Niger is a job where people set, and the job don't sit. Finish.
And now this 800 million, who is offering that amount? Who is offering that ransom?
Ma'am, we hear it's federal government.
That's Mr. Evans, you referred to the interview, was that's the defense minister, right?
Yeah.
Where he said that people should defend themselves in their time. They used to fight and defend their territories and all of that. You know,
it might not sound too palatable.
No, I'm coming to a point. He's saying in a certain way. I'm also wondering why the government cannot defend citizens when it is their constitutional role. He says it as if which of them should be easier to implement? The government, who is constitutionally and financially empowered to protect citizens and even to rescue them, should this kind of thing.
You have just what you're saying is absolutely very correct. Sorry that I'm interrupting you. You're very, very correct. But you're forgetting that last week or week before last, we have said that one man is centrally missing in the whole of Israel, which is the National Security Advisor. Now, beyond him, how can you be missing when you have an employer who is the president? They don't tell you that they no go fit. They no go fit. Police don't say we no fit. Now, the one man don't come up for him and say you take 20 years. After he has spent over $1 billion. One of the approvals was $1 billion. So, my brother, it's not that what you're saying is wrong. The people where they give the work, they tell the boss, we not go fit, though.
Robinson, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just trying to draw that attention that, look, it's the way the man who is having an executive role to play in terms of defending citizens is saying that citizens, referring to their days when they used to defend territories. I found that very insensitive and impractical.
I agree.
We'll call him out for
well, is that not what the Eastern this security group set up by IPOB is that not the same thing they're trying to do, defend their territory?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why do we have helicopters? Well, why do we have helicopters, military helicopters?
He said sometimes the bandits just have 3 rounds of ammunition, and also is he also saying that it is those 3 rounds of ammunition that the government is unable to withstand? That's what he's telling you technically. Technically, that's the implication. So such statements he should have been asked further questions.
You know, like I mentioned when this new set of military chiefs were appointed. I really do not have. I think the issues at stake are really beyond what only the military can solve. I personally do not think that a guerrilla war like this is something that you win with just boots on the ground, with an infantry approach. There has to be a lot of intelligence. You need to have superior, very, very superior air power, and I think that air power we have not used it, and we do not have much of it. I also think that the way these guerrillas fight is something that will frustrate you heavily. And so you see the way U.S. troops fight ISIS. That's the way we're supposed to take on these guys. Clear them. Just clear them. And that's why I still insist that we need this machinery that President Jonathan used. And a leading northern figure confirmed and also alluded to the fact that the current pattern that the military...
You're mixing up this thing. What you're saying is correct, but you're mixing it up. In the Northeast, we have insurgency.
Yeah.
What happened in Niger State? It's not insurgency.
That's what you think. It's the same thing.
No.
I was listening to the Japan this morning.
Boko Haram's not issue. They're not involved there.
Why do you think that these people we call bandits? Is it because they call them bandits?
That's what I'm saying. I said stop giving them titles. If you break my law, and I'm commander-in-chief, and I've appointed you, my brother, briefing will be daily until we have a way forward. Babangida asked Etimese, where is Anini? And in 10 days, and in 7 days, Anini was brought out. Anini that was invisible, that was flying.
Anini is a small
when Mike Tasene was doing win, and they were ready to do, then they crushed them. What's happening in the Northeast is different from what's happening in Zamfara. It's just what you're seeing in Zamfara and Niger is what's happening in Port Harcourt.
I think it's beyond that, Mr. Abel.
Don't make it complex. People should live up to their responsibility. The bottom line is that the commander-in-chief is missing.
On my own, I think that this whole thing, like Mr. Abel said earlier, we allowed politics to affect our planning and our perception of national security. Everything we're seeing today was clear even 10 years ago that this is how it will end up if we follow this in the right way. I remember as we were talking, I tried to Google an old article which I wrote, which was published by Sahara reporters back in the days, Terrorism and National Security, who really is winning this war. Yeah. And I'm just going to read one short paragraph. Boko Haram, then it was Boko Haram. Boko Haram fits rightly into Michael Marshall's perspective above. They now operate in loosely bound cellular structure with regular guys, husbands, fathers, and brothers now in their employ. To worsen the situation, they seem to have mutant affiliation, quasi-terrorist groups, and sympathizers in the society they operate. And so they've gotten that fine blend that can defeat first-level espionage. They seem to have perfectly integrated into the society with each cell connected to the other, albeit loosely. The implication of this is that they behave like unicellular organisms. When a cell is clamped down upon, the cell undergoes mitosis and the nucleus dividing into nuclei, each carrying the Boko Haram DNA. Okay. The point I was trying to say here is Boko Haram was allowed to grow out of the perimeters of that sect
And so today, political reasons. Or political reasons. They are all over the place.
And geographically as well.
And geographically as well. And then every small cell now operates, and they define their own territories. That cell breaks up 2 days later. They break into 2 individual cells with perhaps even equal might multiplied. So that is the situation we have now. Where
yes, let me add color to what you have said. What we're making look as if is up in the heaven is what they just emulated what we do in the South. Whereby if you're running for political office, you must fund for publicity and security you fund for formal and informal. Who is informal security? Informal security are the call boys and the boys who can. Those days was Egbe waiters. Then we institutionalize it. Yes, you institutionalize. So they are using their own. You can look at the Zavara budget now. They make provisions now for amnesty. And what happens in Rivers State, for instance, a local government comes up, chairman comes up and says we are granting amnesty so that peace can reign. And I get very offended when they use that word peace. A man breaks the law, you're talking about peace. Was there a war in the place? You broke the law. And your job, I say your chief security or chief law officer, is to ensure that that man is prosecuted. It's from the customary court level to magistrate court level to state level to high court level. And you're telling me, and everybody just laughs at it, oh, the boy is not repent. It's the same thing they're doing there. They've mastered it. They're replicating it just as they're just adding it and mixing it. It's all about politicians are behind everything. There's a command and control structure. And just as we send messages to the world level, we're going to tell them, we're going to arrange, bring out the blue wrapper. They can tell those people. They know the people who are doing it. They know what's behind it. What we're saying here on this program is that it has become a complex web that has surrounded the nation. And very soon, just as they have become leaders, they have become kings, they're also becoming chiefs and emirs over that places and taking control of resources. While Ross is busy speaking, and Stephen is writing big articles in Sahara, they're controlling minds, just as people are controlling fire. So they are taking over the second level of government, the illegal government. The non-state actors are running things in clear collaboration with those elected, and those in office. They know them. If Abalama people, you know, outside rats, you know, go fit enter Abalama inside rats. It's not possible.
That's true. Well, but then, you know, you talked about, yes, it is possible that politicians will start it. But
it is not, I'm not saying possible. Yes. You're saying provided as a matter of fact. Security must be provided for if you're running for any elective office. And it's of 2 levels, formal and informal. I'm in the system. I know how it works. It's run for 20 years. Somebody needs to clean up this house or this country will collapse.
The point the point they are making, which you probably didn't completely get, is that yes, I agree with you that there is some bit of political hand in it, but then at some point, this thing grows and even overwhelms the founder. It overwhelms the founder in the sense that at some point it happened in River State, it happened in the Niger Delta, and the same thing is happening in the Northeast.
It's happening in the Southeast too.
Yes. You know, these things are run on pseudo ideology. And yes, to the operator, there is an ideology that backs it. To those people, there's an ideology that backs it. No matter how false the ideology is.
The ideology is capture the food chain.
They are running that ideology. Now, the problem, however, is that at some point, that group will split. And the same thing happened with Boko Haram. Boko Haram split. There was the group that was against Shekau. There was the group that was for Shekau. And each of them began to split. The moment money begins to come, the moment money begins to come into groups, they begin to split. It happened in the Niger Delta where we had from about 3 camps, we had over 50 camps. Okay? And we're having the same thing in the north now. We're having, and that's how I was referring to what Niger just said. I think I probably should just read it. Because then said that Boko Haram moved from northeast to northwest and now gradually moving to north central. But the media are still calling them bandits. Yeah. We're still calling them bandits because their modus operandi has changed. The same way we started calling militants criminals in the Niger Delta, because at some point they started going rogue to fund what they call their own kind of revolution. And we know that in revolutionary movements, which they think that you can fund the revolution by any means possible. So for them, they consider, look at what's going on in Niger State now. You go kidnap children, and then you ask for ransom. You see, you're asking for ransom. And you know that, of course, these people are, just like Kibe's article said, they have permeated civil society. So if you chase them so much, they just go into the homes. They go into their homes. They're not from home. They go into their homes. How you don't even have intelligence? When Nigerian police that's supposed to be helping, getting intelligence, they are nowhere to be found. Dealing with their own internal issues. They don't even have an IT currently. The IG tenure is so I think our problems are multi-layered, and it does really have a role to play, so that we can point to a governor and say, look, your state, we have a security problem, and then the governor takes responsibility for that.
Without politicizing it.
Yes. Governors should take responsibility for security in the state. And it's because they will tell you, like in River State, we can tell you the chief logistics officer, like the chief. And that's good, because he doesn't have control over the police, even though he gives them money every month.
But I hear too, he has not shown responsibility in managing power. Now he wants to give us flyover every 5 meters. All our eyes will turn us. We end up at Kumala Junction.
Not come this way. You will get your breakfast that you want to have will not go down well with you. What's the problem with weekend flyover, gentlemen?
My eyes will tell me. Jagolova.
I once on a license note, I once suggested they can run one straight flyover from Isaac Borough Park to Oil Mill and put ladder at its junction.
So, gentlemen, you guys cannot be undermining such a very development effort of rivers.
We're embarrassed. Snake and ladder.
No, on a more serious note, I think different about this. I think that this flyover may not be top on the state priority. However, they will become at some time, and I think
for me, flyovers should be a product of a transport study.
Thank you.
If there was a study conducted and the study says that the flow here requires flyover,
10 flyovers,
it should be. So, but I'm not in position to say if a study was done or
there is none.
No,
there's none.
Let me just notify you.
The flyovers are the afterthought.
About 10 years ago,
and there is security risks. Where will the traffic end up, Ross?
Let me just make this point, Mr. Abel. I know you have your deep machete. You want to dig deep. 10 years ago, I was in the consulting segment. That's why you took us here. You want flesh. Yes, I was part of the consulting team for Greater Port Harcourt, and as a consultant at Greater Port Harcourt, I know that Governor Michi did a very robust, with a company called Agos Gibbs, a very robust development master plan. Now, the fact is that most of these flyovers that have been recommended, that have been carried out right now, we are part of the master plan, the new master plan design. However, there have been...
Ross, I challenge you. I bet you won't put that number of flyovers on that. It's not in that report. It's not in that report. Waterline flyover is not in that report.
There was a flyover for Garrison, and that was a change, even though that impact now, that impact right now has been reduced in terms of show and design.
What it was supposed to be.
Around the Modakat area, there were two on Transamadi. So that means that if Wike is even following their Mechi design, Wike still has no flyover to do, because there are two more on Transamadi. There is a flyover from his
zone is on one straight 8 kilometers, 10 kilometers of road.
It's a very long flyover in that master plan from UTC behind in Jemanze, down to Ilechi access.
Which enables you hook up to the airport.
Exactly.
Yeah, because of the nature of the sloping of the land in that axis.
But then, trust me, all of these flyovers that Wike is doing right now. Yeah, if you talk about in terms of priority, we need to address issues here, schools, and you mentioned those things.
Teachers not paid.
Yeah, teachers not paid. I agree with you that those are priorities that we need to address. However,
children protesting in a primary school on opposite SBS, and
if you have the change at Garrison,
Commissioner of Education coming to say the school has 82 teachers. That's one teacher per child. Oh God! Well, how did we get here? The same problem that we're seeing at is the same problem we're seeing at the state. So that's what's even making people afraid of the state police. For a state with a $400 budget, you just wake up, after thought, just put bridge. So now when you want to go to water lines now, that grid will hit that point. You see the confusion now. Everybody wants to fly. When we fly finish, the grid will come at Waterline and at Rumala Junction.
Which is that when you're flying, that's those are highways.
I like your phrase, flying.
Yes, those are highways. Those are highways. So
the highway has
become stop.
You see that ladder? We need this sea-based ladder so that we just be flying.
I refuse to endorse you people's undermining of such lofty.
I actually don't. Water lines is a crucial. So I don't have anything against water lines. Actually, in fact, I would even put water lines ahead of GRA junction, because the moment you fix Garrison, you have just transported the garrison complexity to water line, which adds to what was already there. So if I was part of the team, I would have even put that ahead of GRA junction. Yes. I'm not technically against all of this, but
can you come to Nigeria?
The city is on a standstill.
Can you come to before us in society as engineers, National Society of Engineers, and tell us that you're not against it? You cannot say that.
I'm going to ask for the report, the transport report, before I say I stand for or against. I'm not. You can't use you can't just say here.
I will not allow you railroad any one of us.
We will not. I don't want to railroad.
I'm not going to decide a flyover on sentiment. I will do so for the study.
This has raised a very important matter. We have moved the traffic to Waterline. Construction is going on now. Thoroughfare to GRA is either through T-line or you go through Waterline. And a state government will allow people to be trading at Waterline now. So you go there, you stay there for 1 hour.
That has been taken care of. If you
no,
go there,
I was in Port Harcourt at the weekend now. I was there for Valentine. It's because I didn't it.
What did you come to do?
I had a meeting. I have a meeting. I have a.
You should have gone to Dublin for Valentine, please.
No, I was there not for Valentine, for a meeting, but during the Valentine. Yeah, so look at what people are going to. A government that is talking about ease of doing business. Look at travel time for less than 3 kilometers. Just basics that you want to handle state police. You kill us, sir. These are things that are making people afraid. These are the things. We need to see, right now you are investing billions of naira, which Ross has gone to see that once in Borno and the ones in Ebonyi State, the flyovers are cheaper. You said they are cheaper. Comparatively, they're bigger. Cheaper.
And there are reasons for that cost difference, and that was what we were discussing.
They are bigger and cheaper and finer
because they are big
and more complex. So that's supposed to be more expensive.
Soil
the different component, and there is a component that the Chinese government supports their contractors.
This is the same thing with the conversation we started with security. It is obvious that things are not done properly in terms of administration, in terms of management. It's the same thing we're seeing in River State. It's the same thing we're seeing amongst the states, apart from a sprinkling of states. So Nigeria is on a speed, is speeding towards chaos. We're already in chaos. It's same thing. Now, the average northern affluent person in affluence probably have an access in Niger Republic. We know the sentiments that way. But when you don't believe your house burn now because they do friendship, we don't go do that. If you bring out people, they will point out those who are operating. You see, to find out the money, it is easy to trace the money now. Once I block your funding, once I give examples of two funders and prosecute, and if it's anti-deaths of people to read, and I execute you, other people will dress themselves, will take dressing. I wrote a piece just as CB wrote before the first suicide bombing took place. And I warned, because I was against the amnesty program, even though I worked there. I said that we cannot be a key actor in that program. Yes, because I went to help them to reform. Yes, I went to apply expertise. Yeah. Now, my opposition to it is in writing. Yes, and I did a piece, and I said if suicide bombing will happen here, that it is time we do certain things and put certain things in place. And people laughed me out of town. And this day happened. And we keep coloring these things and playing politics. The same thing with River State. It is time for that. There is no the Governor Wike is not going to run for re-election. It is time for River people to begin to act in, to administer, account, communicate with the people. You're building bridges. Where's your transport plan? There must be a document. Joe Biden, 80-year-old man, came out and said, look, I am going to give you 100 million doses of vaccine in 100 days. Download this. He kept repeating it. Download this document that it hold me to it. I want to see Governor Wike to do that. River State, considering how we started, where we got to, is too sophisticated to be run like a local government. It's embarrassing. So for anything above $1 million all over the world, there will be free notification. Government will tell that we will build society, we will spend this amount of money because it's a lot of money. Is it because we don't need to think every month our federal allocation comes? Is it because we don't, whatever we do, they think Abuja is safe? So the national security people, they behave the way they think they want to behave, that even non-state actors now will walk in and negotiate ransom. Oh, God.
Mr. Ebel, the governor of the state definitely has, he's not working alone, and he's
they're all afraid of him. Nobody can talk to him. Nobody. Nobody. Okay, let me ask you this question. So
why are the people not protesting? People deserve the kind of leadership they get.
I agree with you.
Yeah, pure and simple. So the people of River State want it that way. They want their flyovers. Let them have their flyovers.
Their jungle over.
There are states that nothing is happening, and then the people still accept it. So River State gets it. If the governor's passion is for infrastructure, building, and construction, please, let's have it. The good thing with River State right now, I can tell you, is that the quality of roads, at least to a good extent, is very good when compared to a lot of other states. River State has at least fairly better infrastructure compared to other states in the country, even Lagos inclusive, I must say, because I was in Lagos, some weeks ago. Lagos is a very big scam. So we just need to keep dealing with all of this stuff as our...
Stop. Look, I don't have to. Look, Ross, I will suspend you from this program. You cannot come and manage over 1.6 trillion and be pointing fingers. There's a standard. We have seen good things before, so we know the difference. Even yes, we did. We saw it. We witnessed a 24-year-old governor. We witnessed a 24-year-old governor. We saw the difference.
He was a senator. You
because he allowed his commission. Can JSP tell Abesa not to talk? Can JSP tell Professor Dayman not to talk? Can JSP tell Dami B. Brown not to talk? No, don't say that. You are not there. You are not there. Don't say that. You were not there. Don't say that.
Governor Steve was a military administrator, and he was
surrounded himself with some people, which River State still has, which you can use. If I ask you now, Steve, Robin,
it did very good thing, but then
two of your names we gave with arrow. Wonderful.
All right, it was a military government at the time.
So, if it was a military government, they're supposed not to perform. They're supposed to do badly because they're not supposed to be for here. We saw the difference. Now another government, we saw Amechi's government. They might have their shortcomings, but his first tenure, we saw communication. I can name everybody in the cabinet. I can't do that with this administration because none of the people appointed can take ownership because it's just one man. Is this how governance should be? This is not how to run a government. If you run a government, you cannot, our seat of government for people to be using apart my neighbor generator and you're supporting it, and Merua going to fetch water. What is Merua blow up the place?
I think that they are addressing those issues correctly.
How are they addressing? They have not even agreed for a commissioner of education to come out and say that a private primary school has 82 teachers. How is he addressing it? Why did it happen? In the heart of Port Harcourt, you've forgotten that we're building toilets for a school that was established by Governor Wike, Junction, for over 1,000 children, no toilet. How is they addressing it? Show us your blueprint. Do you address it spiritually? Does River State have a website? If you have a website, put your program there. Is the program not supposed to be in writing?
There's no new skill building in River State that does not have sanitation facilities.
That's also what Romo Master by the opposite Total Filling Station. I'm not telling you what people have been there. They know me. Don't say this,
When was it?
We were started building a toilet for them last year.
When was the school built?
The school was established by this administration. If you want pictures, I'll show you. I posted it. They've not done anything about it.
I will want pictures on that because it doesn't.
That means you have not been following me. That's disloyalty. You have to read what I've been posting.
All right. I think Annie is going to give us some more time because the problem that we started late today wasn't our fault. So we are demanding that Annie restores some of her time back, and so that we can take some of the calls. We'll be talking about purely the bad state of security in the country.
And the bad state of administration, River State.
Mr. Abel, you have become such a critic of the River State government that you have failed to even appreciate or notice any of the efforts that is being made by the state. I don't think that's a good way to criticize the government. Sometimes I
supported Governor Wike. I support him for things he does. But I am saying this is not how to run a modern state like River State. This kind of style cannot take the state to the next level. Purchasing and procurement and building of houses. You used Julius Berger to dualize Abel Jumbo Road, and it turned to a market. Because there's no management system in place. There's no management of vehicle and human traffic. So everywhere,
if you make this argument from the standpoint that people try managing the traffic by having a traffic management organization, like
I am not. Don't compartmentalize. I am saying governance, administration. It's a whole. If you don't take one and remove one, that are Mr. Project. What about management? What about maintenance? What about sustenance? What about continuity?
Well, Mr. Idles, I think that all of that, we'll probably need to get the commissioner of works on the program. I think it's someone I can get on the program.
Do we need to call him? We should just publish his plan. Let us read. Yes,
well, how are you sure that plan does not exist? How are you sure that
it should be in the public domain on your website? River State, if you're spending 1.6 trillion in this mundane times, it should be out there. For the people, it's for the people. It's not a private thing. Let them know what you're doing, what you want to do, where you're going to source the funding from. It's not a sole proprietorship now.
So this has become a problem of transparency. If I were to summarize all of this stuff that you're talking about, you're concerned about the transparency in governance, the governance of not government, but governance of the states, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's fine. So I think that point is adequate.
I've been idle for more than 15 minutes.
Nobody gets on this.
I'm on the reserve bench.
You started this with the ladder concept. Now you are acting like you don't know what to do. We can just call and then round out the show so that Annie can have a space back, even though we still think we'll be shortchanged. So, but then, are you there?
I'm here. The shortchanging was not by any of our faults. So I have been magnanimous to throw in extra 5 minutes. So we have 2 more minutes on the clock. So let's.
This is what Eugene is talking about. Yeah. He's talking about
there's transparency in my own. I was very transparent.
All right, I think we can call.
Okay. All right.
Work.
Okay. All right then. Tony sent a text. Tony says, "Please, can Mr. Abel tell me which of the governors came close to Governor Wike in terms of infrastructures?" That's from Tony. Can he tell me which of the governors came close to Governor Wike in terms of infrastructure? All right.
He has this flyover complex bill 2 billion. Okay, next question.
The phone lines are open. Let's see if we can. Let's take calls. 0810-951-0951 or 0817-000951. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. All right, 0810-951-0951 or 0817-000951. I think we can afford to take just one more before the time goes on. But if you're unable to get through, you can send a text. I will read the text as quickly as I can. Hello, Today 95.1 FM.
Yeah, good morning once again, Annie.
Good morning, what's your name?
Chimeze from Rumokrushi.
All right, Chimeze, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to really commend all the three wise men. They are back to their feet, being very objective, especially my man where they are Abuja now. The way he has analyzed the security situation of Nigeria is superb. So I want to commend them for their objectivity today.
All right, then. Okay, Chimese, we got your point there. 0810-951-0951 or 0817-000951. All right, this is from Alex. Alex says, I totally wish that the governor was listening in. Mr. Abel was right on the nail when he spoke about what's that? I think he's trying to say transparency. When he said the government was not transparent, I think that I'll interpret it as you saying transparent there. And then this WhatsApp post here says Nigeria needs to address her insecurity issues. We have found ourselves at the deep abyss. Okay. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Lost that connection. I'll take one last one. Our time has run out. And this here says, good morning, Annie and your guests. I would like to state here that I wish these people were able to do more than speak about these things. Is there any way we can form a political party? Annie, you were speaking about political party earlier. Have you asked them if they're involved in politics? Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Annie.
Yes, good morning. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm Victoria. I'm calling from Rumolumine again.
Okay, yes, Victoria. I had you earlier. All right, Victoria, go ahead.
Yeah, I totally agree with the gentleman in there. Especially, I think his name is Mr. Abel.
Yes, Mr. Abel.
With his analysis. And one thing again, I don't know if government or governance, people governing us I don't think they are listening, because if they do, they will pick points from what people are saying. Transparency is the key. If your government is not your family affair, it's a state. The people need to contribute. You know, for you to get what they need, not to anything in your mind you bring out. It is not so. I mean, they should listen and pick points from what people are saying. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you, Victoria. All right, Mr. Ross, because of timing, do you want to wrap up now?
I agree. So we will wrap up the show. Robinson, your final word.
It's been a nice time on radio as usual. So, what did they used to say those days? Next time, until next time on radio, just don't touch the dial.
All right. Better big than we head out for next week.
Yes, I'd just like to rephrase quote what the last the caller. The people need to know what you're doing with their resources. It's not about how you feel. That's what an elected. What's the responsibility of being an elected official? They need to know. There's no water in Texas. People are explaining. Lights go, not be there cause winter. People are explaining. But Governor Wike thinks it's easy for him to criticize others. Commissioner of Police, where is the gunboat? You do things, just buying things. The people need to know what you're doing. You need to begin to govern and not manage the state. They're accountable to the people. The same thing should apply to the president.
Since you went to Abuja, your mic is up and loud. Don't worry.
He's far from arrest. You will come
back here to meet us.
I'm there at the weekend. What are these doing?
All right, Addy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ross. Thank you, Mr. Eugene, and thank you, Mr. Robinson. I think this is where we wrap up on Open Edition. I had to give in a few more minutes because of the time we started earlier, but just stay tuned. Programming continues here on Saturday Express.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Need to have financial independence? Then build your forex trading skills with La Shula FX Academy. At La Shula FX Academy, we train our students to thrive in the forex market. 1 year mentorship is guaranteed in La Shula FX Academy. We have systems for training, especially for those without personal computers. At La Shula FX Academy, trading signals are given to registered students free. Visit us at plot 312 NTA, Fidelia Mall at Apara Link Road, opposite NTA, Mboba, Port Harcourt, River State. For more information, call 0816 333 2417 or 0907 320 4655. You can also see us at lashulafxacademy@gmail.com or lashulafxoutlook.com. La Shula FX Academy. We train, you gain.
Are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
This is Today FM. Developing news. 95.1.
Developing story, members of Freight Forwarders Transport Association have barricaded the Port Harcourt International Airport junction, stopping vehicular movement. The members of the association blocked the roads with their containers in protest against an attack on one of their members by security operatives at a checkpoint around the airport junction. Our correspondent Chinedu Wona, who is at the scene of the incident, reports that the incident took place last night after an argument broke out between a security agent and the driver. As it stands, there is no vehicular movement around the airport junction as members of FFTA have vowed to remain at the junction. Members of Freight Forwarders Transport Association have barricaded the Port Harcourt International Airport junction, stopping vehicular movements. Members of the association blocked the roads with their containers in protest against an attack on one of their members by security operatives at a checkpoint around the airport junction. Our correspondent Chinedu Iwuna, who is at the scene of the incident, reports that the incident took place last night after an argument broke out between a security agent and the driver. As it stands, there is no vehicular movement around the airport junction as members of FFTA have vowed to remain at the junction. So we're trying to connect to Chinedu, who is at the scene at the moment, and so that we can get a first-hand report on what's actually going on there. From what we have gathered from this story now is that there is no vehicular movement around the airport junction, and this is because of some argument perhaps that happened last night between a security agent and the driver who is a member of the Freight Forwarders Transport Association. I think we do have Chinedu now. Hello, Chinedu. Good morning. Yes, good morning, Chinedu. Good to have you. What's going on, Chinedu?
What's going on now is Freight Forwarders Transport Association of Nigeria are protesting against the attack on their member last night by security operatives who were at a checkpoint around the Port Harcourt International Airport Junction, Omagwa. According to what I learned when I arrived here, they said there was an argument about payment of 200 whatever that was. The argument resulted to an attack on the driver of the container who lay unconscious all through the night but was taken to the hospital this morning for medical attention. So the drivers are angry and are protesting against that one. They said this is not the first time that is happening. So they barricaded the road. Nobody is moving. For 2 hours now or 3 hours, this place has been blocked, and nobody who wants to get into the airport will do that, or nobody wants to get out will do that. It's been like a no movement area.
I know there's a roundabout. There's a roundabout around that area. So are they smack in front of the road towards the airport?
Just across the roundabout. The three roads, the 4 roads actually at the junction are blocked by their tankers. So travelers can pass, and nobody makes use of the airport for now. That's what they've been battling.
So even if you were heading towards Ikwere local government, you couldn't do that?
You go nowhere. Nowhere. The junction is just blocked. So unless you have an alternative route that you can pass, but as long as it's the airport, International Airport Junction, Omagwa, it is difficult for people to pass because the containers are all blocked in their hundreds, all lined up on the road.
So you have people who need to access the airports now. They can't do that for 3 hours.
They can't do that. No, they can't do that.
Those
if you had a flight to catch up late today, you couldn't have done that.
Those coming out from the airports too can't do that.
You can't come out unless you probably were going to walk with your legs, but you can't drive out as long as this junction is concerned. But incidentally, the local government chairman arrived. I've been trying to talk with the leaders of the union, trying to appeal to them to open up the roads and so that people can move around about their normal business, assuring them that the police officers who were at the checkpoint at the time of the incident would be apprehended and prosecuted if they are found wanting. So they've been talking, and as it is now, I think there has been a truce. The leaders have accepted the plea of the local government chairman, Samuel Wanosike, to open up the road while they carry on with the other aspect of apprehending maybe the security operatives that were at the checkpoint at the time of the incident, Annie.
Okay, so Samuel Wanosike is still there, or has he left now?
Well, he is he's still in discussion with the leaders, but what I'm noticing now is that some tankers are moving, so I want to believe there has been an agreement. Yes, so they are gradually leaving, and in the next maybe 30 to 1 hour, I think here will be cleared up.
Okay, but as of now, we have no idea the state of the former driver, the one who slumped.
Yes, the leaders of the union who took the driver to the hospital just gave a report to their members that he is responding to treatment.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he lived here since last night. According to them, he was bleeding, nowhere to take him until this morning when the leaders arrived and took him to the hospital. But the good news is that he's responding to treatment, and that's the situation now.
So he was bleeding because he was attacked by the security operatives at the checkpoint.
Yeah, he was attacked by a security operative after an argument about a particular money that should be paid. And his argument is that he's already paid it at the custom office, so he's not supposed to pay at any other checkpoint. I understand that this has been a problem, for the union, among the union and the security agent, the checkpoint actually, who often asks them to pay money whenever they are carrying these goods. But now the authorities seem to be wading into it and assuring them that they will no longer be able to pay any money that is not that is different from the one that they've paid at the airports, at the customs.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Chinedu. We're hoping that we can hear from you later, maybe from a representative of the Freight Forwarders Transport Association or from the local government chairman much later on what happened there and the way forward. Seeing that this has been sustained for such a long period that brought about the frustration of the driver to fall into that argument. Hopefully there'll be a way forward. But from what we gathered now, we say that the tankers are beginning to pull away, and in another 30 to 1 hour, there should be a thoroughfare through that region, and people going to the airport or heading out of states will be able to access all those routes available.
Exactly, Annie. Exactly.
Right. Okay, then, Chinedu, thank you very much for responding to our call. And that's how we'll take that story. Members of Freight Forwarders Transport Association barricaded at Port Harcourt International Airport Junction, stopping vehicular movement. The members of the association blocked the roads with their containers in protest against an attack on one of their members by security operatives at a checkpoint around the airport junction. Our correspondent who we just spoke to, Chinedu Iwuna, said the incident happened last night after an argument broke out between a security agent and the driver. There has been no vehicular movement for 2 to 3 hours around the airport junction as members of the FFTA vowed to remain at that junction. But an update from Chinedu now says that the Ikwe local government chairman, Samuel Wonosike, arrived at the scene and has been trying to get to a truce with the representatives of the Freight Forwarders Transport Association, and it seems that at least for now there is some headway, as Chinedu reports that he's beginning to see or he sees trucks begin to pull away from that region, and hopefully in the next 30 to an hour we'll have a free flow of traffic around there. This obviously is a fallout from the fact that security agents who have a checkpoint around there have continued to ask for certain amounts from drivers who ply that route, and they say they are frustrated with the issue and at this point expect some concrete response from government as to why they have to keep to pay certain amounts to agents of security who mount checkpoints in that area. This has been developing stories. Will return as more stories on this matter and others come our way.
Has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
I do not put that. Come on, put that down now. I go match on that. Oh yeah, give me that thing. Come on, give me the phone. Give me that thing. Oh yeah, shoot that police.
Insecurity has become a common factor in our general language within the Nigerian space, no doubt. Not only has it become a threat, it has begun taking diverse dimension we cannot ignore. A solution we seek. A desire to stop the trend is imminent.
Wait up 2 seconds.
God, hey, Jesus. Straight bullet, though. What kind of country is this? Hey, boy, I just said to go and buy something. What kind of thing is straight bullet from where? I'm finished, though.
Directly or indirectly, we all have lost people, friends, family, or acquaintances as a result of insecurity. But is security only the job of the government? No, security is not one man's job alone. Every individual in the society has a role to play in order to achieve a secure society. We urge citizens and indigents to adhere and respect the laws of the state, report irregular activities to the authorities, and we implore security agencies to carry out their duties as stipulated by the Constitution and not infringe on the rights of citizens. If we work together, we can build the Nigeria of our dreams. This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
$23 gone past 10. You're listening to Today 95.1 FM, voice of the people. And I don't know why I said this is developing stories too. Let's just do again. Developing stories. You Fit Fly. In case you didn't know, now you know that you can go to all the places you've dreamt about, be in all the places that you've dreamt about because of a fantastic outfit called You Fit Fly. Good to have you here, Nathan.
Good morning, honey. How you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah.
You look like you just came back from Zanzibar. Have they come back from Zanzibar?
Not yet.
They're still there.
They're still there.
This is more than a week. This is more than a week.
They're going to be coming back to Nigeria on Tuesday.
I feel pain in my heart. All right, so Nathan, good to have you.
Thank you very much.
So let's quickly inform people who don't know, you know, what You Fit Fly is into.
All right, You Fit Fly is your one-stop shop when it comes to destination management. You Fit Fly, it's all about travels, all about visas, local and international flight tickets at very discounted and affordable prices. In fact, I can tell you we're giving you the system fare, which is the exact amount we pay to the airline. So there is no add-ons on it. Why are we doing this? For Port Harcourt people, for them to know we're here. You know, we're here to let you know that you can get good prices from your Fit Fly. Study abroad packages in Italy, in Poland, in Lithuania, in the United States, in the United Kingdom. We do all this to let you know that with 1.5 million or less, you can definitely study abroad, undergraduate or postgraduate. We have our pilgrimage, we have a study abroad, we have Jerusalem, Israel, we have Saudi Arabia as well. So these are what we do at You Fit Fly: vacations, honeymoon, holidays, you know, whatever it is that you want to do.
Oh, when you say vacation, so could it be that me and 10 people now want to go somewhere and just decide, okay, let's find
exactly. We can help you. Yes, we can help you get a beautiful location, you know, flight inclusions, airport transfer, tours, you know, breakfast, and also we're gonna get all these things for you. Next week Saturday, I think you need to be broadcasting live from the international airport in Port Harcourt because 27 students are going to be going to study in Poland.
No.
All
See, I don't want to be involved in these things because I just feel like, what am I doing here?
All sponsored by OPM, you know.
OPM?
Yes,
wow.
You know, and when it comes to being sure about what we want to do, being sure about quality service delivery, prompt service delivery, come on, get You Fit Fly on board. Next week Saturday, you know, the same way we talked about Zanzibar, you know, come next week Saturday, follow us on You Fit Fly, as You Fit Fly on Instagram, as You Fit Fly on Facebook. Check us out on all our social platforms. You're going to see it. Over 20 students, you know, going to study in Poland. All sponsored by
You can do it 21 students.
And let me tell you something.
Let me
tell you something. Poland is a Schengen region.
Yeah.
Their visa allows you to visit Germany, Spain, Italy, Sweden. Come on, Holland, Hungary, Dublin, Ireland, a whole lot of countries. So you're not just studying in Poland. You have the Schengen visa to yourself.
So you could take a trip to any of these places.
Any of these 27 other countries of the Schengen region. So this is packaged by You Fit Fly. We have partnerships with corporate bodies. We have partnerships with religious bodies. We have partnerships with non-governmental organization. Is because You Fit Fly has been in this game for 17 years, and we are on radio just because you can't stop advertising, you know, for a very good brand. So even without coming to the radio, come on, our success stories, our partnerships, no, definitely it's there. But we have to come on here to let people know that this is not a scam. You might have been defrauded many times over and over again. You Fit Fly is here to tell you.
With students, I know too many students who want to travel to study, and Yeah.
A whole lot. So if some people will tell you, what are you doing this for? I can get the admission by myself. I can do this by myself. No, to get admission is one thing. To get visa to study in that country is another thing. So a lot of people will think, oh, what is there to get admission? I can get it by myself. Can you get the visa by yourself? Do you know what it takes to get visa? Do you know how to package your documents? Do you know how to profile yourselves? Do you know when to push in and when not to push in? A whole lot of stuff are into this thing. So that's why even at your Fit Fly, we don't charge you for consultancy. Come in, bring your credentials. We are going to put you through on how to get the best out of it.
Wow.
So a whole lot. Last week we were at LPM having screening for a lot of people to aside people going on Saturday, another set is already undergoing their screening processes, for them to study and a whole lot. So
to find out if they're eligible.
Yeah, exactly. So if we don't have what it takes, we're not going to have these partnerships, with people. And I'm only mentioning OPM because that is one of the names we can relate with here in Port Harcourt. We have other big people, other big organizations in the Southwest and that we have partnered with. So your Fit Fly is here to tell you that you want to study abroad, you want to relocate to Canada. As I'm talking to you, right in our office at 49 Iwofe Road, opposite First Bank, off at the George by Pepperoni here in Port Harcourt, IELTS classes are ongoing for those that want to relocate to Canada, either as a single, as a couple, as a family, with just 40,000
Can I go
naira.
as a company?
With just 40,000, you start your dream to living legally in Canada. Yes, you can visit our office right now. Classes are ongoing. They will put you through. They will teach you how to do the IELTS, how you are going to pass the IELTS, the mock exams and everything. It is simple.
Wow.
It is easy.
Wow.
Don't let anybody tell you it is difficult. It is not. When I wrote my exam, I never thought I could get 8.5, but I did. Some people say it's because you're this, you're that, you're that. No, but it is simple. To get this course, it's simple. Come to your Fit Fly. Visit our office. We're going to profile you for free. I'm going to do everything for you. Like, okay, let's just do it like this. Oh, when I say for free, don't tell me, hey, you're going to gain something later. Yes, when I get more people, I know that when I get something done for you, you're going to refer people to me. So that's just the thing.
True.
So visit our office at 49 Iwofe Road, opposite First Bank, off at the George by Pepperoni here in Port Harcourt to join our next IELTS class starting in March. These classes is going to initiate you into your Canada relocation process. Please take note that it takes between 6 to 8 months for us to have those processes done, but it is worth the wait. If you know you're patient, come on, it is worth the wait. If you're a couple that you're listening to me, if you're a family, you're listening to me, or you're a single person, come on.
There are people who want to relocate to Canada. I mean, let me just quickly ask you that.
Okay.
And they say, there are too many Nigerians now who have been heading to Canada, so the chances of getting a visa is slimmer than what it used to be. Is that true?
It is not true because relocating to Canada is point-based. When I say points-based, all your age, qualification, work experience, field of study are what comes together to give you points. So when you have good points, especially with your IELTS examination, and you have a very good result, your points are coming up. When you now have a provincial nomination that you feel is going to help you with, come on, all these are going to make your points come up. So when you have good points and they see that you have a very good, profile, which your Fit Fly is going to ensure that you have. If you don't have a good profile, I won't push you to do what you're not going to do. I won't push you to what's going to waste your time.
Yeah.
When I profile you and I see that you are not eligible for Canada relocation, we have other options that can fit in for you. We have the USA Zero Deposit, where you don't have to pay us anything. Just pay your visa fee and then come. We're going to see how we're going to profile you and then go get your visa. When your visa is out, that is when you pay us our money. But some people want to say, no, I don't want United States, I want Canada. Yes, it is not because Nigerians are plenty. It's not only Nigeria that is applying for Canada relocation.
The whole
whole
world is applying. But there's something you said. You said, there's also an easier, if you can't get Canada, get somewhere else. And from that, you can still get your dream destination of Canada.
When you come to our office, a lot of people have visited our office and then they leave smiling. That's the beautiful thing. And they'll be like, I never knew it's going to be like this. I never knew it's this easy. A lot of people come and they say, I want to go to Canada. I want to go and work and live. I say, hold on. They will profile you. Then after the profile, we're going to give you several options based on what we have here. This is what is obtainable for you. Everybody wants to go to US. Everybody wants to go to Canada. Not everybody might leave from Nigeria directly to Canada.
These places.
We have other places you can go to. We have other European countries you can go to. We can even tell you to go to the UK first, then route yourself to Canada. Not everybody is going to move on that straight line. So the consultancy is free for Port Harcourt because we are coming into the city and we want to let you know that we are real. Currently, Zanzibar trip is ongoing. Another one is coming up in March. Kenya, Dubai coming up in April. That one is in partnership with Miss Port Harcourt City.
Okay.
You're going to be having a free VIP ticket to Miss Port Harcourt City event. God, you're going to be having pictures and time out with the queens and contestants.
Wow.
You're going to be having an after party in Dubai.
Oh.
You're going to be having a free visa application to the United States. All because we're in partnership with Miss Port Harcourt City. A whole lot. So when you come to You Fit Fly, you can never run out of options. That is just it. You have the dream to travel. You have that wish to travel abroad, either to study. You don't have the money. Come. Our Italy package is less than 1.5 million. And guess what? We even support you with documents that would help you get visas out. If you're interested, call me on 090 7037 3696. 090 7037 3696. A beautiful personal assistant is going to pick up the phone. Her name is Temito. But come on, call that line. It's also WhatsApp enabled, to tell us this is what I want. I want to travel. I want to relocate. I want to go study. I want to move with my family. I want to renew even if your visa has expired, you want to renew it, bring it. We help you with all these things. That is what You Fit Fly does.
So anything travel?
Anything travels. Anything travels. So as I'm talking to you, IELTS classes is ongoing at our office, 49 Iwofe Road, opposite First Bank, off Ada George by Pepperoni here in Port Harcourt. You can join the March classes. Going to be start. Is going to start the second week in March. You can join the March classes. That one is for those that want to relocate to Canada, either as a single, as a couple, or as a family. The first step is for you to join the IELTS classes. How much is it? 40,000. It is. And the beautiful thing about You Fit Fly is You Fit Fly will not tell you to bring a whole bunch of money or bulk of money. Okay. Never. We are going to put you through the process. You are paying per stage. You are paying in beats, so that's not going to choke you. Start this first stage, then the next one. This is the next one. Although we're going to give you an overview that, okay, maybe as a single person, total money you're going to be spending maybe 1.6, 1.4, 1.2, but you're not even paying the 1.2 at once. You are starting in bits. So you yourself, you'll be able to monitor your progress. I'm on the next stage now. I'm going to this next stage now. So it's going to help you to prepare yourself also. That is what You Fit Fly helps you to do. Even on our vacation packages, you are not even expected to pay everything at once because you understand the situation of the country. You can pay in bits. All you need to do is just register your intent. Just register your slots. Just save your seat. Pay with 100,000, 150,000, a trip of 670,000. You can even keep on paying until
I still can't get my head out that you're going to go to Kenya and go to Dubai, and you're paying just 670,000.
You didn't mention that what they're going to be having in Kenya: hotel night stay in a 4-star hotel, breakfast buffet. You take anything you want. You needed to see the way people are eating, not even in Zanzibar alone. Talking about tours, visiting places that comes with tickets also to Two Rivers, Dubai Mall, Underground Aquarium, Giraffe Center, the Games Reserve. Now for movie, now people they see these things. It is real. It is real. You're going to be driving around the game reserve and you see lions just chilling. They cannot harm you, because a whole lot. It's fun. You didn't mention the fact that their visas are also included in these things. You didn't mention the fact that airport transfer, a very good car is going to take you from the airport to your hotel, then from your hotel back to your airport. What are we talking about? It's only You Fit Fly that can do this thing.
It's only You Fit Fly.
And above all, your return flight ticket. Aeroplane that will take you from Nigeria to Kenya, from Kenya to Dubai, then from Dubai back to Nigeria. Oh God,
it's too much. Please add more money. It's too much.
Last time Sisi Boma was here, she gave out 50,000 naira discount.
Indeed.
For those that wanted to just register. And a whole lot. A whole lot of people called. A lot of people were like, "Can we still be part of this thing?" I can't speak for Boma. She's the ambassador for You Fit Fly in Port Harcourt, so she's having a very good time in Zanzibar as we speak. So maybe when she comes back, she can consider you people.
She'll let you know.
But I can tell you that slots are getting filled up. You just need to register.
When is this trip for?
This one is coming up on April 9 to 15.
It's not far.
Celebrate Easter.
It's not far.
Celebrate Easter. Guess what? You're having a free VIP ticket to Miss Port Harcourt City. You're having an after party with the Miss Port Harcourt City contestants and queen in Dubai. You're going to be having a free visa application to United States or UK. Any one of your choice. Just pick one. What else are you looking for? And it's an all-inclusive trips. The only money you need to pick is money you want to use to do shopping.
That's all.
You want to buy something when you're coming home. It is real, people. It is real. Enough of all these fraudulent people telling you that. Just reach me on 090 7037 3696. If you want to call me, you can call Nathaniel on 070 3936 7678. Okay, I'm going to do something. The first 10 people to send me that data page.
I was already wondering. you shake body today.
The first 10 people to send me their data page on WhatsApp 070 3936 7678. Don't call me. Just don't call. Just send me your international passport data page on WhatsApp and tell me, Kenya, Dubai, I'm interested. That's all I need from you. And I'm going to give you a whooping 50K discount.
Another 50K gone.
Yes, I'm going to give you account details. Even if it's 50,000, pay today, bam, and then you got it. And send me your data page. That's all. Today, pay 50K, get 50K discount.
So they only have to pay 620 in the end?
At the end, yeah.
Wow.
So which means if you pay me 100K today, I'll refund you 50,000 naira cash instantly.
Please, what's the number again?
070 3936 7678. That's my personal number. You can also chat me on WhatsApp, or you can reach our customer care on 090 7037 3696. Remember, with your Fit Fly, it's without limitations. IELTS class is ongoing for Canada relocation. 0 deposit for United States. Those that want to relocate, 2 years visit visa to United States. Come on, it's very achievable. You want to study abroad, masters undergraduate with less than 1.5 million. Come on, we have all these Schengen countries. Catch me live at the International Airport, Port Harcourt on Saturday as we move about 27 students
to
proudly
Poland,
sponsored by OPM to Poland. Schengen visa that carries you into other 26 countries. Come on, what are we talking about? It is real. You want to study medicine, you want to study management, nursing, whatever it is, reach out to Your Fit Fly today at www.yourfitfly.com. Follow us on social media at Your Fit Fly, Instagram and Facebook. Office address is at 49 E Warfare Road, opposite First Bank, Oris Mall, Tamoko Building, off Ada George by Pepperoni, here in Port Harcourt. My name is Nathaniel, and you can reach me on 070 3936 7678. Remember, for those that are interested in the Kenya Dubai trip in partnership with Miss Port Harcourt City, the African edition, come on, it's going to be wow, because the event is April 4th here in Port Harcourt, and the trip is April 9 to 15 in Kenya and in Dubai. Send me your data page on 070 3936 7678. Pay me 100K today, I give you 50K cash back instantly. Or you just register your intentions with just 50K, and then you're paying 620, all inclusive. I'm going to dash a family of 4 something. If you're a family of 4,
indicate.
Yeah, if you're a family of 4, just pay for 3 people, let the last person pay 50%. It is real.
Who will complete my family?
Follow us on social media.
Who will complete my family?
The thing is, travel is a luxury, yes, but you don't need to break the bank. Your Fit Fly is here to tell you that. You don't need to break the bank to travel. It is real. All these things are being made affordable. It's not as if it is cheap, but it is affordable. That is why you can pay bits.
I think that the best part of what you have brought with traveling is demystifying how expensive it is. A lot of us, when we hear travel, we say,
Exactly.
I can't. But you've broken it down to the point where we know, you actually can. You actually can. And the part that you also say consultations are free is awesome. So if you're speculating and you're wondering, it's a simple thing. Call these numbers and find out.
070 3936 7678. Come to our office at 49 Iwofe Road, opposite First Bank, off Ada George by Pepperoni in Port Harcourt. We have offices in Abuja. We can send you there. We have offices in Lagos, Ikeja, Surulere. We have in Ilorin, Osogbo. We have in Benin. We have in Ibadan or your state. Come on, Your Fit Fly is everywhere. We have in Port Harcourt here, so we can attend to you anywhere you are. A lot of people called from the last program, Annie, and they were like, I'm in Abuja. Do you have an office there? Yes.
Anywhere
you are, Your Fit Fly is there for you. Now, person we know sure of waiting they doing go tell you say Go to our social media, you will see it. Follow Sisi Boma live, you will see so many live videos.
She's in Zanzibar.
They're currently live in Zanzibar. It is not fake, it is real. Travel is affordable. You don't need to break the bank.
Nathan.
Visas is affordable. To study abroad, masters or undergraduate, you don't need to have 3 million SEP. You don't need to have 2 million SEP.
Nathan, we need to go so we can be calling you.
All right. I'm actually putting. I like the energy here whenever I'm with you, Annie. And
I know.
The thing is, I love telling people that this is what it is. You know, a lot of us have, like you said, so many wrong mindsets,
misconceptions. And then you're demystifying it. Thank you. One day at a time. We've got to go, unfortunately, but you've just been listening to your Fit Fly represented ably by Nathan, letting you know that you can drive. And remember, he gave so much out on the show today. You want to make sure that you cash in by calling in and taking a picture of your front page data on your front page international passport. Send it now so that you can qualify for all the discounts that's offered on the show today. All right, stay with us. Saturday Express continues in just a moment.
FM, Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
This president's failed. It's about the future of this country.
We're going to take it back. We're going to take it back.
You asked us to vote you into that position so you can bring about that
solution.
So when you vote me, then you sleep.
Let me see if I can take another phone call. Hello, today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
What makes a policeman to be able to feed is the gun he's holding. They use their gun to extort money from people.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
No longer news that we are truly the voice of the people.
Am I not a slave in Nigeria?
I refuse if you say you're a slave.
Let's not get to that now. So the Nigerian constitution.
You spot the difference now?
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
This is Today 95.1 FM. To copy this tune, press 9.
This is Today 95.1 FM.
For current news and information, press 5.
They are politicians, all of them. They know what they do.
So they know how they attack each other.
To stay connected all day, press 1.
The person who raised the alarm is the one who made the public know about
Good afternoon and welcome to the World News on your Premium Talk Radio station.
We are your Premium Talk Radio station. Today 95.1 FM, the station with a unique dial.
Emeka Biko, bia.
What is it?
How come Chukwudi, that guy, Chukwudi, how come he's making more sales than us? And we are in the same line of business.
Relax. Cool down.
Are you sure he's not using something? Ask him so that whatever he's using, we can use it.
I'll do something. I'll meet him.
Ask him now. Wow.
I'll meet him. He's my brother. Calm down. Biko. What is that thing you are doing? I'm your brother. What is that thing you're doing? Look at your shop now. It's always busy.
Look, my friend, it is very simple. I don't tell you this thing before, but you know the
I am willing to go anywhere, any length. Just what is it you are doing? What is the secret?
It is very simple. See, just take your business, okay? Take your business, go to Day FM for adverts, and you go experience change.
Chukudi, stop this joke now.
I tell you, because now, as they talk so, their rates don't drop.
Chukudi, are you being serious?
I tell you.
Have you ever paid a visit to Croatia?
Well, most of the visitors that actually paid a visit to Croatia, they fell in love with its coast and sea, and they are thrilled about the food and inspired about its culture, its natural heritage, the music, the people, and even the animals. Well, most of these visitors are surprised when they hear about some of the less known facts about Croatia, and some of the people even pay visits to Croatia just because of these facts. Well, my name is Buchi Rafua, and I will be taking you on a trip to Croatia. Please do not sleep on me as I give you a brief history of Croatia. Well, Croatia is officially the Republic of Croatia. It is a country at the crossroad of Central and Southeast Europe on the Adriatic Sea. It borders Slovenia to the northwest, Hungary to the northeast, Serbia to the east, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Montenegro to the southeast, and shares a maritime border with Italy to the west and southwest. Its capital and largest city, Zagreb, forms one of the country's primary subdivision with 20 counties. Croatia has 56,594 square kilometers and a population of 4.07 million. Now, the Croats, like they're being called, they arrived in the 6th century and organized the territory into two duchies by the 9th century. Croatia was first internationally recognized as independent on 7th June 879. I'm not talking about 1990s or 2000s or 1600s. I'm talking about 879. And this was during the reign of Duke Branimir. Tomislav became the first king by 925, elevating Croatia to the status of a kingdom. During the succession crisis after the Trpimirovic dynasty ended, Croatia entered a personal union with Hungary in 1102. Now, in 1527, it was faced with Ottoman conquest. The Croatian parliament elected Ferdinand I of Austria to the Croatian throne. In October 1918, the state of Slovenes, Croats, and Serbs' independence from Austria-Hungary was proclaimed in Zagreb, and in December 1918, it merged into the Kingdom of Yugoslavia. Now, following the Axis invasion of Yugoslavia in April 1941, most of Croatia was incorporated into a Nazi-installed puppet state, the independent state of Croatia. A resistance movement led to the creation of the Federal State of Croatia, which after the war became a founding member and constituent of the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. Now, on 25th June 1999, Croatia declared independence, and the War of Independence was fought for 4 years following that declaration. The sovereign state Croatia is a republic that is governed under a parliamentary system. It is a member of the European Union, the United Nations, the Council of Europe, NATO, the World Trade Organization, and a founding member of Union of Mediterranean, an active participant in UN peacekeeping forces. Croatia has contributed troops to the NATO-led mission in Afghanistan and took a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council for the 2008 to 2009 term. Since 2000, the Croatian government has invested in infrastructure, especially transport routes and facilities along the pan-European corridors. Croatia is classified by the World Bank as a high-income economy and ranks very high on the Human Development Index. Service, industrial sectors, and agriculture dominates the economy respectively, and tourism is a significant source of revenue, with Croatia ranked among the 20 most popular tourist destinations. The state controls a part of the economy and substantial government expenditure. The European Union is Croatia's most important trading partner. Croatia provides social security, universal health care, and a tuition-free primary and secondary education while supporting culture through public institutions and corporate investments in media and publishing. Well, good thing you're still awake. You made it through the history. So we can actually meet the very friendly people of Croatia. It hits you right away in the shop, in the market, and the street. And when asking directions, Croatians are friendly, happy to help, and most social interactions are carried out with a smile. True, they can also be abrupt, but that's just the way of things in the Balkans. Friendly is invariably the go-to attitude most of the time, and they're usually well-read and well-educated. Croatians can hold their own in conversations about the latest best-selling novels or the biggest films. In terms of popular culture, they are ahead of many Europeans, particularly when it comes to rock, pop, punk, or rap. Theaters and classical music concerts are always well attended. Culture is a sacred cow as far as Croatians are concerned. And little did you even know that Croatian hospitality is best observed when you go to see someone's house. The guest is treated to at least 2 and probably 3 helpings of food. With all the trimmings, the finest drinks are brought out. Everyone will do their best to make you feel as welcome as possible and make you feel at ease. And like we say it here in Nigeria, make you feel at home. And also, Croatians know the natural riches they have at their disposal. A pristine coast, beautiful national parks, unspoiled landscape, and are justifiably proud of this bounty. And many locals feel a close affinity with nature that perhaps those living in major cities like London can appreciate or may not have experienced. Well, the people is not all you get to see in Croatia. You should have a taste of the wildlife Croatia has to offer. The brown bear. Now, Croatia has one of the highest populations of the Eurasian brown bear in Europe, which is impressive considering the species is almost extinct in the Western continent. And unfortunately, these fuzzy, ferocious animals are frequently hunted for sport, although the practice is closely monitored and it's only legal at certain times of the year. Oh, did you know an image of the brown bear is featured on the reverse side of 5 kuna coin? In addition to the brown bear, Croatia's mountains and dense forests provide the perfect habitat for wolves to thrive. They were exterminated from most parts of Europe in the 19th century, although conservative efforts have helped the species to recover. And now Croatia and the Balkans boast some of the biggest populations. And did you also know that Croatia's big cat, that's the Eurasian lynx, is the largest species of lynx in the world? And much like the wolf, was once very common throughout Europe. After the species was reintroduced in Slovenia, they began to colonize parts of Croatia. A number of mating pairs set up home in Plitvice Lakes National Parks, probably to take advantage of the picturesque views. Well, lest I forget, in addition to Croatians being really friendly, hospitable, and very sweet, do you know that they have no official religion? Freedom of religion is a right defined by the Constitution, which also defines all religious communities as equal before the law and separated from the state. According to the 2011 census, 91.36% of Croatians identify as Christians. Of these, Catholics make up the largest group, accounting for 86.28% of the population. After which follows Eastern Orthodoxy, Protestantism, and other Christians. Now, the largest religion after Christianity is Islam, with 4.57% of the population describing themselves as non-religious. And Croatian is the official language of Croatia, and it became the 24th official language of the European Union upon its ascension in 2013. Minority languages are in official use in local government units where more than a third of the population consists of national minorities or where local legislation defines so. Now, those languages are Czech, Hungarian, Italian, Serbian, and Slovak. Besides this, the following languages are also recognized: Albanian, Bosnian, Bulgarian, German, Hebrew, Macedonian, Montenegrin, Polish, Romanian, Eastro-Romanian, Romani, Russian, Russian, Slovene, Turkish, and Ukrainian. Well, like we said earlier, Croatia is well known for its tourist sites. Historic cities and unspoiled nature are some of its top attractions. The vibrant capital city of Zagreb is home to some of the country's best museums, galleries, restaurants, and shopping. And speaking of tourist sites, Dubrovnik, Croatia's most glamorous tourist destination and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, centers on the magnificent old town area contained within sturdy medieval defensive walls. Any first-time sightseeing tour of the city should begin with a walk around the sturdy old ramparts. The complete circuit measures 2 kilometers, which incorporates fortresses, towers, and cannons along the way. You'll also likely enter the old town through the famous Pearl Gate, built in 1537 and one of the city's most impressive structures. From high up on the walls, you can enjoy amazing views over the old town rooftops and out across the glistening Adriatic Sea. Be sure to wear comfortable walking shoes and bring bottled water and a selfie stick, because you will be needing that. Now, another very interesting place you should pay a visit to is Croatia's second biggest city after Zagreb. It's called Split. It was established within the ancient Roman walls of the huge Diocletian's palace. Situated overlooking the Adriatic Sea, it was built by Roman Emperor Diocletian, who retired here in AD 305. Oh yeah, how can you talk about Croatia without talking about the Var town? Many tourists visit Croatia to explore the blissful Dalmatian island, of which the most fashionable is Var. Here, the trendy city of Var is home to some of the country's top hotels and best seafood restaurants, dating back to the years spent under Venetian rule, which is 1420s to 1797. Its car-free old town is made up of a spacious main square, overlooked by a 16th century cathedral, a pretty fishing harbor, and a hilltop fortress. Var is popular with yachts and celebrities, as well as travelers who come here to enjoy its beaches and water sports. It is served by ferry from Split. But how can you talk about the places, the food, the drink without the dance and music? Let's start with a dance. Croatian dance traditionally refers to a series of folk dances, the most common being the kolo. The Croatian dance varies by region and can be found throughout the various regions of Austria, Croatia, Bosnia, other regions including Romania. The traditional kolo is a circle dance where dancers follow each other around in circle. It's relatively simple in form and widespread throughout other Slavic countries. Due to immigration, Croatian folk dance groups are prevalent throughout the diaspora, most notably the United States, Canada, Australia, and Germany. And then it's music. Croatian music is a very important part of Croatian folk dance with
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
What is the purpose of government? How important are your rights to you? How satisfied are you with the way the government works? Social Transformation is a show that is geared towards making individuals aware of the different structures of government, the roles they play in the society, and the different ways in which one can participate in the governing process, which is one of the most important rights of citizenship.
Parasites, there are parasitic societies. So in this program, we need to know and be clear whether this our society is a parasitic society.
Because we are voice of the people, and we want everybody's voice and opinions to be heard. Join us every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. for Social Transformation with Professor Andrew Femini on your premium talk radio Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
Good morning, listeners. I wanted to say viewers, whether you have the eyes of spirit to see me in the studio. This is our third edition of Social Transformation. So much tension was generated last week. I saw that people were visibly agitated by practical challenges confronting the Nigerian state and Nigerian society. And I was saying that we were going to look at the obstacles to our development. Because if you understand what development is, and then you need to now know why are you not developing, or precisely like I argue, why are you underdeveloping? This is such a vast issue to discuss in 30 minutes to allow callers to call in. So I will take this issue of obstacles to the development of this country in 2 or 3 weeks and see whether we can do justice to them. The reason I say we are going to do them in 2 or 3 weeks is that we have the economic dimension of the crisis. We also have the political dimension of the crisis. I know that the political dimension, like I've always argued, is the major reason, but we also need to appreciate the economic reasons why we are not developing. And recall, please, that I insisted that development is about self-reliance. It is about improving our civilization and then modernizing and ensuring that we're able to take care of our basic needs, not for a few, but for everybody, so that you measure the state of development of a society by going to the remotest areas of your country and see how people are living. That is the school of thought I belong to. I will not go to Abuja, GROAs, Lekki Peninsula, all the big houses that are built by people who we regard as the bourgeoisies, who clearly are products of poorly organized societies. We don't use them to measure development in the contemporary study of development. We use the living conditions of the ordinary people, the people who you call the poor, the uneducated, the abandoned, the wretched of the earth. It is their quantity, the quality of life, how they die and all that we use. So we use the poverty index of a society to measure actually whether that society is doing well or not the life of privileged people who have access to money and then they drive the biggest cars with 200 policemen around them and all that and that. We don't use those people to measure development at all. Because even driving with security around, which you don't see in the US or in any modern society, is even a sign of underdevelopment. I hope you heard me clearly. When you drive with security all over, it's already a sign of a primitive people. You don't see that in any well-organized society. Because who cares whether you are big or small in a well-organized society? Nobody cares. So we care that you're a big man because of the disparity, the gap between the have and the have-nots in this poorly governed society. So what really are the obstacles to development if we want to focus on the economy? You know as much as I do that we don't really have production going on in this country. We are not a productive people. We are not. The economy we run is not productive. We are. I've used the word parasitic many times. We're a parasitic lot. We wait for ships to bathe so that we can offload things that we should produce for ourselves. Clothes, shoes, TV, fan, everything. Imagine anything. Just look around you and imagine everything that you have. Cars, everything. We wait for ships to bring them so that we can live like human beings or subhuman beings. So we're not productive. Since we are not productive, we then have what we call a mono economy, more or less. Mono economy in the sense that our economy is over 85% dependent on crude oil. Again, that is a sign of primitive people who are not industrialized. Industrialized nations have crude, but they don't want to even spend. America has more crude than Nigeria, but the politics of America is about not drilling because they don't want to pollute the environment. They can collect crude oil from Nigeria, so why pollute the US soil? Why try to carry crude oil to gas to Canada? They don't need all those kind of environmentally sensitive things. So, but here we live with environmental pollution. We even beg to produce. If we don't sell crude, our economy crumbles. If price fluctuates downwards, we are like all of us are going to die. I've always said, before you begin to challenge America or challenge any country, do you know that your country cannot survive 1 week sanction? So you have to control your mouth, control how you talk to other people. 1 week of boycotting your crude oil, you can't survive. Believe me, Nigeria is one of the few countries in the world that cannot survive 1 week sanction. And all of us will be on the floor. Salaries won't come. If you don't have salaries, how do you survive? What will you do? You kill people? You see? So we have to appreciate how vulnerable we are as a people. And when you are vulnerable, you should be scared. You should try to take urgent steps to try to correct your problem. We are never worried. Crude rises, it rises. It falls on all of us. Economy goes in and out of recession these days because it is dependent on the fluctuating prices in the international market. And it is not in the interest of the rich countries for prices to rise because it affects their own economy negatively. So it is their interest that your crude don't sell at reasonable price. And it is your interest that your crude should sell at reasonable price. Can't you see the conflict? So you are running an economy in a conflictual world where your interests and the interests of developed countries don't tally in terms of what you have to offer. And they're already thinking about phasing out crude and all that and moving to electric energy and all that. And you have not started to create an alternative economy. Just a few days ago, this IMF advising Nigeria to begin to think of diversification. I laugh at those multilateral bodies because they are part of the very crisis confronting this country. They are the ones who recommend the devaluation. They are the ones who recommend removing of subsidy. They are the ones who recommend dumping of goods by forcing us not to impose tariffs that will lead to production. They do all sorts of things. Open trade. When you have nothing to sell and they are asking you to open your border, what are they asking you to do? They want you to become a dumping ground. So we're a dumping ground for second-hand clothes, second-hand shoes, second-hand human beings, anything second-hand. We're a dumping ground. And I'm saying precisely that this thing they call development, my intellectual lord, Klodake, says it has not started in Africa. It is a statement he made over 20 years ago. Up till now, it is yet to start. They gave Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala appointment as Director General of WTO. I listened to the analysis on China television. They say she cannot help Africa because Africa has nothing to offer. Africa is not really registering in the West of Klodake. We're not registering global economy. So, I've warned you people. When I say these things, you people think I'm joking. You are here quarreling over religion, quarreling over separation, quarreling over... Is that the problem of Nigeria? False consciousness everywhere. Everywhere, false consciousness. You don't even know the magnitude of problem that we have to grapple with as a people. I know that politics is the cause of everything. When I start discussing the political dimension to this economic crisis, you will understand, but you have to understand the economic crisis. Per unit of Nigerian, production is almost zero. The real people who are producing are not, the energies are not directed as tangible things. People who push truck, people who push barrow, taxi drivers, all those people labor from morning till night, they are not directed at producing something substantial. The rest of us sit in government offices, we do nothing. Civil servants in Nigeria, what do they do? What are they civil servicing? What are they doing? What is Abuja producing for Nigeria? The whole city, what is it for? That is where the problem is. The problem is that as a people, ships bring things to Nigeria and they go empty. Nigeria is one of the few countries where ships come in tons and they have nothing to take back. That is where the problem lies. That we have not managed to produce what we consume. We don't produce what you consume. You depend on others to eat. And the thing is now piling in form of debts. We can't fund ourselves. We can't fund our projects. And we run government in a way that makes this crisis deepen and deepen and deepen until, my fear, I don't want to go that until we start to discuss the political dimension. When you are in the state like Nigeria, you must now focus on starting afresh by focusing on primary goods. You must go back to what colonialists turned you people to. Farmers. The first source of real possibility of starting this economy is mass production of agricultural produce. I traveled with somebody from Turkey through Enugu and he saw those hills that were empty. And he said, wonderful. This would have been fantastic tomato beds, producing tomatoes around the year, that your country should be exporting tomatoes around the world. Tomato paste should be a major production in. My body was just running cold. This is just somebody passing and they are seeing what he can do with our hills that we think that nobody can ever use them. What is our problem? Our problem is that everybody. I don't ever focus on people. Some people focus on those in government. The knowledge is not easy to come by. So it is we, the knowledgeable, the journalists, the ordinary people. We must begin to educate ourselves such that we find a way of coming to understand what the problem is. If you don't understand the problem, you will quarrel, and quarreling has now intensified in Nigeria. Like I said, when suffering multiplies, interpretation of the source of conflict and poverty will also diversify. Killings will start because you're already degenerating to herbaceous state. So you know how to brand every other person a criminal. You don't see how you are part of the problem. What do you produce? See? So I want us to catch what I'm saying. Economy is taken in isolation. It's not that I don't know that there are political issues to discuss, so that when you are calling in, you don't think that there will be time enough for us to discuss the political roots of this crisis. But this your country, this our country, has a currency that has no strength. The currency is so weak. It is suffering from kwashiorkor. It is suffering from kwashiorkor because it is not funded by productivity. There is no production base to give your currency strength. And so IMF wakes up and says, devalue. Because if you don't devalue, you can't pay salaries. If you ask Buhari to increase salary today, he can increase salary to minimum wage 100,000. Then he devalues the currency to 2,000 to $1. And then the little he says in dollar, which doesn't change, he uses it to service 100,000 naira a month. That's what happens. That's what is happening in Zimbabwe. You see, increases fuel price. The price at which they fix minimum wage, it doesn't last a week. It alters. The economic environment alters. They don't even wait because as you are worrying, they already know they will adjust those things because you are not productive. The issue is, how do you get an economy to be productive? You have to identify what you can do. You have to know what you can do. From the individual level to the national level. Self-reliance is the key. Dependency is evil at all levels. And if I give lecture on the level of dependence from the individual to the federal government, the level of dependence is criminal. The level of dependence is criminal. And these are the issues. When you see European countries, you see Western developed countries, you see the Asian tigers that have left us behind, you think that they simply identify what they call their advantage, something cooperative advantage or something like that. They identify their advantage internationally. What it is that I can offer the world that can make me part of the business of the world. Technology we can't, because technology is the mainstay of global power now. But since you cannot fight technologically and compete in building aeroplanes, in building planes, in building train, in building cars, why don't you go and start afresh? Start from basic production, agriculture. From agriculture, you now go to agro-allied industries. As you are doing that, you are funding education properly. You do what? Do you know that Japan started to become Japan when Japanese kids, after the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, were taken to Western universities, exposed to Western education? They returned back to Japan and transformed Japan to the most technologically advanced nation in the world today. So when you go back to making sure that, if you like, I've always said it, let every school have farm. Let every church go and farm. Let every mosque have farm. Everybody farm. We identify what we want to farm. How many sheep of it we want to supply to the world. There are goods that the world need. Even palm oil. If you know how much Malaysia makes from palm produce in a year, it exceeds our crude oil money now. And they came here to take that palm produce. What's our problem? I don't like to say we are cost, but we are creating the impression that we are cost. This country is supposed to be one of the best countries to live in. If you go outside and come back, you know that Nigeria is better to stay in. If not for all these issues that we can overcome. I've never gone anywhere and felt freer than I feel in Nigeria. People must know that. Ask those who have gone out of Nigeria. This is the freest place you can find expression of yourself. But it is also one of the most dangerous, because the level of neglect of the ordinary people, because of lack of production, no employment. What are they even employing? Everybody goes to secretariat to go and do what there. Those who are there, what are they doing? I want those who are working in secretariat, call in and tell me whether you are producing your salary. What are they doing? See, we have problem in Nigeria. We have problem. If you analyze what Nigerians do, the totality of what we do as a people, you will know that we are heading for the rocks. We are heading for the rocks. Reproduction is not going on in your country. And if reproduction is not going on, you are not ready to be a respected people. You are not ready. I want more time for calling, so I want to open the phone lines. Let us make contributions. As you are making contributions, I will also be explaining where necessary. I want us to discuss this, our economy. What do you think about it? Do you think that our economy is good enough? If it's not good enough, what are the challenges with our economy? You have to have an opinion. And then let's take it from there before we come in to discuss the political environment giving rise to this. So this number is 081 70000 951 or 081 095 951. So remember, my challenge is we need to understand the Nigerian economy. Hello.
My brother in the studio, good morning.
Good morning.
You are God sent.
Welcome.
I've never had somebody who sounds so honest and direct to the point. As a young man, probably in my mid-20s, after watching the political gymnastics of the Second Republic, I picked up my pen and wrote a book. I captioned the making of my nation. Sorry, my name is Cody, brother.
Okay, welcome.
In that book, I analyzed the sequences of the daily events and projected where it's taking us to. Thank God that today we are heading to the same direction. I made one very important statement this morning. You said that the number of siren-led convoys along our routes is directly proportional to the failure of the nation.
Yes.
The more siren we have, the more failure we are recording.
Correct.
The less siren, you know that our nation is marching forward. Please, we don't have an economy. What we have is sell crude oil, use the money to buy up consumable goods. Buying and selling everywhere, shops selling imported goods and so second-hand clothes and the rest of them. Productive economy that is very productive, production-based economy is the only way we can move forward. Unfortunately, we're moving backwards because we don't have them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please, can you send a copy of your book to this studio if you can? I'll be glad to receive it from 95.3 and let me also benefit from your experience. Thank you very much. Yes. So, hello.
Hello, good morning, Professor.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. You have said it all.
Your name, sir?
Okay, so my name is Williams Emmanuel.
Okay, ma, go ahead.
The National Coordinator for South Global Initiative for Public Enlightenment.
You're welcome.
Yes, I agree with you, Ututu, that our economy is nothing to write home about. But we have all the resources in this world to reform our economy to a better country or a better economy that everyone will benefit from.
Yes.
But the problem is the citizens are not taking conscious of what is happening today as of today. It's not by placing all our blames on the government. Now, as you have been talking on radios several times. But I want also to drag your attention to the youth of today, because it is what you think you become tomorrow. So what we need to do is to prepare the minds of our youth to think in this direction that, come, this is the way forward. Let us start to think how to diversify our economy by engaging in agriculture, by engaging in production. Yes, I am along the street these days. I normally see some boys. They carry local antenna. They be selling. They say, you can have 9 channels that they produce this within. Now, if we look at that production, invest in them. Today, I think we are using other country cable stations and all the rest.
Mm-hmm.
These are the only way we can encourage our youth to stand out with their useful ideas. That is one. 2, we need to also start to conscientize our children who are in secondary school. In those days, we normally do what the craft. They tell you, your teachers will tell you, go and do one handwork of one thing or the other, and come and present. You have a mark. By so doing, you are testing the brains of our youth, what they can do. All have been forgotten. So I am placing this blame not only on government, onto us, the citizens, the parents. But if we do that, I think we can get this country a better place for all of us to live.
Thank you very much.
I must commend you on what you are doing.
Thank you. Agriculture, when we say agriculture, do you know that the Chinese economy is trillions of naira, billions of dollars through their restaurants all over the world. The Chinese brand, Chinese food. Somebody asked me once, who had the privilege of eating with me when I prepared a Nigerian meal in the US. How come we don't have Nigerian restaurants all over? This is wonderful. And what was wonderful? Stew and rice. Simple. Was wonderful. Why don't we have it? So the Nigerian government, the Nigerian people, do you people know that your food potential, the nutrition of your food, is a huge industry bigger than oil? How many of you know that? And that is why I keep saying the National Orientation Agency needs complete overhaul. That agency has never come 1/10 of its potential. What I'm doing here is what they should be doing. Through their program, through hand bills, they educate the politicians, educate everybody, enlighten society, so that we can collectively know that if we can send 530 ships of granite, 20 ships of cocoa. Cocoa is still valuable in the world. Some economies are still dependent on cocoa. So what happened to our cocoa industry? What happened to the granite pyramids? Violence everywhere. People cannot even settle to say, okay, enough of this rubbish. They say don't depend on crude oil, IMF. What are they telling you? They're telling you to do other things. How many of us know that the American economy was first built with slave labor in the plantations? And with that, we provided raw materials for the industrialization. Our slaves went there to do, but now you don't even need too much of man labor to produce, which is part of our backwardness. We are still using subsistence farming, hard labor, suffering, cutlass and hoes to farm in a world where our technology can be supported by buying industrial implements. Those ones they produce, we use them to produce food. What's our problem? I remember there was a governor who came to this state, what I think Oyakilome, and they employed all secondary school leavers and put them in farms to produce. That is precisely how to get people. If you like, pay them 10 naira. That is exactly how to tackle the issue of production. Let nobody sit at home waiting for free food from anybody. Fishing is there. Animal husbandry is there. Crop production is there. Engage people, have targets. If you ever work for a supervisor in the United States, you will know what is target production. You will not sit down, your knees will pain you because you have to produce at a target. Set national targets. When I come to politics, politicians will know how they have ruined our society, how they are doing the wrong things in the name of government. We will deal with that later. But for now, we are trying to know what exactly that is not right with our economy. You see? Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Prof, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is J.A. and I'm calling you from Port Harcourt, sir.
Welcome.
Yes, sir. Prof, are you aware that as we're talking right now, that the price of palm oil is higher than the price of crude oil in the international market?
I'm not surprised.
Meanwhile, you don't even need all those rig and all those big equipment to even harvest palm oil.
Correct.
So it means that I think the last time I checked, palm oil was going for like $75 per barrel. How much is crude today? So why not put our own priorities right and go for palm production? Everywhere you can grow palms and get this whole thing done. If you even go to somewhere like Kurumokoro right now, those women that are selling on the roadside, tomatoes are littered everywhere. When the one way rotate, they pour and throw away, they continue like that. And I think we are very wasteful in the midst of this one we don't even have at all. Why can't we package these whole things together and see? I don't know. So what you're saying, I just hope people are listening. Both the governor, both the, the local government chairman, the one in my local government in Delta State, traveled to Ghana with some people that he wants to go learn tilapia farming and all those stuff. That is how the Bitcoins are. Nothing came out of it. They went there, came back. Oh God, nothing we're not going to hear from these people. So it's so funny, but it's not funny, sir. Imagine you having a place to train like 2-3 million fishes every month. Imagine the revenue.
Correct.
I remember El Rufai building poultry that will be producing 8 million eggs every month. Check it out. Look at Kebbi. Look at the rice factory that they built with 11 billion, employing over 1,500 persons and producing. I don't know. For this area, especially this Niger Delta area, nothing. We just depends on oil. The oil we don't even produce. We don't even know the volume of production. Go to export terminals. You will not see any of our people there. It is the same people that are drilling that will tell you how much is their production, and at the end of the day, you take it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
And they still share the money based on cost of production. They tell you this is how much we use, and at the end of the day, you get nothing. At times they do round tripping. You pay money for project, they pay you back as a part of money. Prof, I tire. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. I want some optimism. We know that the situation is very bad. You can see an idea came out now that oil actually can help. So why are we, the neglect of reason palm is one of the shame of Rivers people and Rivers State and Rivers State government. Reason palm should have by now created other palms, would have expanded until most of the idle lands in Rivers State will be palm oil producing. These are the issues. Is it that we don't have the manpower? We do. I always challenge my colleagues in Faculty of Agric. Left for me, they should all face firing squad because I don't see their impact. They will be laughing. I can't understand why things that we can do with the intellect, we see that we are failing. Not because we don't have the intellect, but because the environment is not conditioned to enable us from. If you watch the last few days, I'll be attacking the church, attacking the mosque, attacking Muslims, because that's where all our energies are entering. And they were ignoring production. Poor people cannot feed. 5 a.m. they're in the church. Exactly what Kamas quarreled about how many centuries ago has come to be our lot today. Exactly. Big opium. Looking for miracle. When even in the Bible they said manna cannot fall from heaven again. Go and labor. Without labor, believe me, let me be very angry the way I normally get angry. If you don't labor, if you don't work, even check it. Where you don't work, you beg to feed. Where you don't work, you depend on others. No amount of prayers will feed you, except you are one of the church people who are getting from their members. Have you ever seen where Gary fell into the church? It's human labor that will bring Gary through the door, the gate, where you are cooking the rice. That's what we are saying. Mosque. Do you see food flying into the mosque? People must labor for food to enter mosque. Labor is man is labor. Without working, man cannot survive. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, my prof.
You're welcome. Good morning, welcome.
Patrick.
Patrick, welcome.
Yes, how is everything with you, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Once again, I want to say thank you for this enlightenment. I wish those in government will take it up every Saturday to be listening to this and record them, and so that they can learn and get it just to formulate policies that will better the lot of this country. They haven't said that is the cause of the matter. The economy is bad, we all know. We've also identified the problems of Nigeria. The issue is that implementation. As I already said, virtually everyone knows the problem of Nigeria. We have the intellect, we have the human resources, which is part of the human resources, we have the natural resources, we have the conducive environment, sense of weather and all that. So what is lacking? People to drive this, to formulate policies. Even the policies, a lot of findings at universities concerning all these things. They're out there. You don't mention Minister of Agriculture. The lecturers in Faculty of Agriculture and all that. I'm sure they have done their own work. They're producing students that are competent, extension workers. They are producing all sorts of people in that area, like every other area. They have findings. They have the research findings everywhere. They are incapacitated because this kind of thing requires money, funding. Government must use the. But when those are in government, seem to be, they have other priorities. When I need government from federal to the local government, they have other priorities because most of them ordinarily don't even deserve being in those positions. Position of leadership or that kind of thing is so sensitive that the best brain should be, or the best of men should be the one to occupy it. But unfortunately, the reverse is the case in our country. So if people like that don't have such mind, like you now, a lot of people that are contributing to Nigeria to another, you can see that Nigerians have the brain. But these people cannot even participate in local government elections because the system is shut them out. So those that will participate are those that will, with different priorities, they just go and steal money and do other things. That is the problem. So the leadership, everything is for to leadership. And leadership, therefore, how do we now recruit the leaders? So for me, this should be the main focus. Because I don't think Nigeria was this bad. I'm able to be saying that military is...
Patrick, don't go for this military side, though. You see, we will discuss the politics. I know once we go into the politics, maybe next week or after next week, because we need to understand the issues, the economic base, the economic challenges that we have. Now, somebody mentioned oil, palm oil. Clear, that one is one. Two, you see plantain. Ask anybody who has gone to African shops in Asia and in the Western countries. Plantain flour is gold. Why can't we send 3, 4, 5 ships of plantain flour to the West, outside world? That one is clean. Nobody is clean production. There's nothing to check there. And you can produce and also promote the culture of plantain flour because whites, Westerners, they are open to new varieties. Our vegetables, I remember one of my lecturers who came to Nigeria. He couldn't do without vegetable soup. Rice, so vegetable soup. Anything, he will be teaching us and he will be eating vegetable soup, just taking it with a bottle of beer. That was how philosophy touched him. So he would teach and stop and open his vegetable soup and rice and be eating. So later he said, this is the gold he met in Nigeria. You see, an American, that was gold for him. So focus on rubber. I don't mean I'm rubber. Rubber, that crop they call rubber, not I'm rubber. Focus on it. The plastic industry can consume any quantity of rubber that we produce. You see? So are we doing that? Timber. Is there anything you can do without wood in this world today? Most houses in Europe and America are even wood industries. What is happening to us? And that is why I say that maybe we need a government that will turn all of us to slaves. We need to start with internal slavery. Force us to farms. Everybody, no matter what you are doing, you have a portion of farm where you are going to put your slave labor. Because we need to change how we live. We need to alter how we live so that we become productive. As I drive through a chair and be going, if you see the kind of land that is yearning for human farming and activity, you will wonder whether we are cursed. Are we cursed? If we are not cursed, what's the problem? Who has ever said that land is Nigeria's problem as of today? Have you traveled to the north? You see, so I have a feel. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Mascot, calling from Port.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Honestly, Prof, I want oil, that is crude oil, to dry up in Nigeria. Because this crude oil, from your explanation and from what you have already said, you will discover, Prof, that crude oil has become our bane, our greatest undoing. Even those of them who go into politics, they go into politics because of this oil. From the north to the south, from the south to the east, from the east to the west. Everybody is on oil. When my brother Paul J talked about palm oil, have you talked about the solid resources, the solid mineral resources that are being wasted in the north? That one is more than gold, is more than oil. Today, in this country, nobody's talking about all those solid. Look at South Africa. I want to tell you, despite statistics, because I don't believe in statistics, South Africa remains the best economy in Africa. Do they have oil? Is it not solid there? Just go. And they don't have it in large quantity even. And the economy will rush to. In those days, in the 90s, most of my brothers rushed to South Africa immediately after apartheid ended, just for greener pastures. And at the same time, they don't have oil. So for me, the problem we have in this country is that let this oil dry up. Because when this oil, if this oil continues to be, we will continue to get much more lazy people, much more lazy youth. People, they will go into courtism. When they go into courtism, I have come across one prof that we are doing this courtism for election. So that during election we'll be hired to go and wreck havoc, wreck himself here, and get our pay. So we just fall out to this oil, let it dry up. Because when it dry up, there are many other avenues flying west, Professor.
Yes.
Where we can get money, excess money. So, and I thank God this oil is fast drying up and fast becoming useless. It's becoming useless, Professor.
Yes.
In the international market.
Correct.
As the days go by, the Americans and the West Indies have discovered many other avenues where they can use alternatives for oil. So for me, let the oil in Nigeria dry up and Nigeria economy will boom. Professor, that is my own take this morning. Thank you and God bless you. I like the work you are doing.
Thank you very much. For sure, I think that the point we take from him is that the idea of depending on oil as our major foreign exchange earner since 1973, oil has not gone less than 85% source of our foreign exchange. That is a shame, you know. That is a shame. So, the other 15%, where do they really come from? They don't want to tell you 100%. What else really brings money for? Maybe Nigerians who work abroad, who send money, they call them diaspora dollars coming to help. Maybe that's part of the foreign exchange we are in. It's true. Yes, Nigerians work there and repatriate money to this country. But that is not it. I think that what we now need to do in terms of this awareness now that we must broaden our economic base away from crude is that the enlightened ones who now see the calamity that is confronting us, you need to be organizing small conferences, small press conferences. You need to be issuing releases. You need to be inviting politicians to tell us how they are planning to get out of an oil economy. You need to do it so that it can be the major issue. Remember that I am discussing economy, not because economy can change itself. Economy must be changed by politics. When we go into that area, you will know that we are the architect of our own ruin. We, as a people, are the people hurting ourselves. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
It's a college from Patakot.
Welcome.
My dear brother, yes, let me chip in something about this economy of a thing. If you remember that in so-called Europe and Britain have an agreement of just to fish. That is the main problem of Europe and Britain because of fishing. How Nigeria that has all what it is to get into that fishing, they can't do it because oil is there. It's just people find this riverine area because of fishing, not because of oil. Let's say they have abandoned the issue of fishing and focusing on oil, forgetting that the whole world is now going to electronic vehicle. What's all over the world now is everybody is talking about solar power. Very soon we cannot even be talking of NEPA anymore. People should get it in their mind that this oil of 18 is about to collapse into I'm telling you the truth. There was a time that Nigeria depended on coal. Today,
Nigerians should get it on their mind that this crude oil is not nothing in the international market as I'm talking to you. China has over millions of vehicles that is electrical. Soon, they will soon approve it. Europe will soon stop the diesel and the petrol vehicle by 2025. How Nigeria will cope up with this?
You are very correct. We are actually moving away because of climate issues. The world actually is moving away from anything that emits carbon anyhow. So I think that our gatekeepers. You know what I call politicians? Gatekeepers. When we come to them, you notice that some of them are like they are trapped. When you are trapped, you need a revolution to free you. So the people there, they are there to do what is possible within the moment. How they can't just wake up and then the system changes. So they need to be removed through a big bang kind of thing. Then we can now reset the clock and then start the country. But otherwise, you don't elect a chairman who doesn't go to wait for revenue to come from Abuja. And what will he be doing? Hello.
Hello, Prof.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You have said it all, your analysis.
Please speak out. Speak out.
Hello, Prof.
Go ahead. Your name?
My name is Prince Nelson.
Prince, speak out. Nelson. Okay, go ahead, Prince.
The truth is that the politicians made us lazy in this country. And your analysis shows that at least the generation of today Nigerians we really need to change. Because if we continue to believe in oil, I don't think that we'll have a place tomorrow to call our own. Because so many things is changing. And Nigeria, that's still stagnant. We are not moving. So at least if the politicians are not, trying to move the country forward, at least we, the new generation now, will do that. That's why I asked you last week that if there's any kind of way you will push us now to change the narrative in this country, at least you can help us. Because I see that we are not going anywhere with this type of politicians we have in this country. Thank you very much.
Yes, you see, I really need to enlighten us on this, how oil is really a problem in this country, because many of us don't appreciate how oil is a problem in this country. You see, we receive foreign currency from selling crude. If the price is good, the benchmark of your budget will be higher. If the price is down, the benchmark reduces. And then it is from this crude that comes into the federation account that they then share money to the local governments and the states. And then the governors will then pay salaries, what they call recurrent expenditure, for which they have no choice. And then they are left with a balance and do what they call capital expenditure. This is the pattern since 1920, since God created Nigeria. So, as we are now, the population is expanding. Responsibilities of governments are expanding. The oil revenue is not expanding in dollars. It is constant. We only devalue the currency, increase local fuel price to be able to call naira that looks big. You convert it to dollar, poverty. So we are a typically poor people because our earnings are stagnant, our responsibilities are increasing, population is increasing, institutions are increasing, and what then happens? Poverty will increase. And that is why I've tried to educate people. Nigeria survives by throwing more people into misery. Nigeria's economy has never survived by pulling more people out of poverty. Never. It has always survived by running away from its responsibility because it has no capacity to do what it is doing. Do you know that the budget of Nigeria is less than the budget of New York? I'm not even talking about New York. New York Fire Service. Yes, that is the equivalent. Not even New York. How can it be New York? Do you know how rich New York is? Hello.
Hello, Prof.
Yes. Good morning.
Good day, Prof. You are really my scholar.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Prof. My name is Promise. I'm from LA.
Welcome, Promise.
Prof, can I say that most of our leaders, I'm sure they went to school. They study well and others. Now, according to what you are saying, I'm sure that they have come across theories and practice. According to what Marx theory on political economy, based on dependency theory, what is the result? Of course, it has to do with the low capital income. Now, go to Singapore and see why Harry Lee Kuan Yew transformed that country from third world to the first world. What are the indices that he used? Why can't they borrow a relief of a country that is doing well for them to know how they are going to do? At the end of the day, what is now paraded in Nigeria is ethnicity and all that. They use ethnicity to rule away a country that has a divergent existence, things that God has given to us to make use of, and people use politics to outweigh it. Now, look at Reason Palm. The man that bought the palm from Reason Palm and go to his country. How much did he pay? And go to that place now and see what that place, because of oil palm. Why can't they revamp our own? Look at Tongai Farm. What is happening there? Look at Reason Palm. They privatize it. Now, privatization is what is training. They will not, at the end of the day, they cannot privatize our what is it called? Our refinery. And the people that is going to buy it are already waiting so that they can buy it for the private individual, private opportunity. Look at our university. They will not do it for private enterprises so that those who do not have money cannot go in. Where are we going? Who has done this to us? We have known so many things. It's not that we don't know, but we always don't want to apply the good one. We always want to apply as if Satan. In fact, Nigerian is I don't know. Satan paint us black, and his thing is working. Why? Who made all this to me? What will do for this country?
It's okay. Thank you. Cool down. Your temper is very high. You see, Nigeria can work and it will work. The problem we have is that when we come to the political root of this crisis, you will some of you will understand why we are where we are. But believe me, all of us need to wake up and understand what the problem is. You stay here, they bring the money, you are asking for better salary. It doesn't come in real sense, because before they increase your salary, they have taken it from the back door, increase fuel price, devalue the currency, the salary goes, because there's no reproduction. So, I will be ending this discussion on the economic dimension of our problem by recapping what I have said briefly. I'm saying that this country is relying on one commodity, crude oil, and that, like many callers have said, crude oil is becoming old-fashioned. We cannot produce electricity that has become, look at 3 days or 4 days ago, most of Texas lost power. As at this morning, they have restored power to virtually everywhere, because it is inconceivable that you'll be in America, you will not have access to light. But it is normal to be in darkness for 6 months in Nigeria. Even some people have never even seen light in their community in the 21st century. These are the issues. So we need a new, completely revolutionary thinking. When I use revolutionary, I'm not saying that Governor Joseph Wike cannot be a revolutionary, but as of today, it's not. So we need revolutionary thinking, and it doesn't come easily. It comes from enlightenment. It comes through seminars, conferences. You begin to articulate the problem, begin to know what needs to be done, so that you educate society, you educate the masses. They now see where we are going to. They need to know where we are going to. You don't wake up every day and think that Nigeria, through dreaming, will now suddenly become like America. You think it's America fell from the moon? Look at Joe Biden donating $2 billion, another $2 billion. They are just calling it as if it's 1 naira. They are proposing $1.9 trillion. I asked my friends in Naira, what is it? They were looking at up and down. That is what they are proposing to help their citizens overcome COVID-19 crisis. $1.9 trillion. Since Nigeria started, I'm not sure we have seen $1.9 trillion. Population of 200 million people now. You do a budget of $45 billion. When you convert it to naira, you say 10 trillion, 11 trillion naira. It looks big. One university's budget, that's what Nigeria is spending. One university's budget. Look, if people annoy me, if you annoy me in this program that we are running, you people will know that those societies that were built by human beings like me and you. It did not come from up. And because they were built by human beings, all those antagonisms, I don't want to belong to Nigeria, Christian and Muslim, all those false consciousness will have to come to the table here. We will analyze them, and you will see how you are part of Nigeria's problem. You will see alternatives to bringing Nigeria to be a great country away from all these religious overzealousness that have blinded our people. Muslim, Christian, fighting this, that. But when they share our money, they want to take it to build churches and build mosques and go to Jerusalem and Mecca everywhere. It doesn't cause problem. Look, nobody shall know me. Oh. The poverty that my people suffer is enough pains for me. Don't add more, please. See you next week.
Did I hear you say something for me? Nothing for you. I need to told you kó má lọ kùtà lásán lásán. Nothing for you. Hey, anything for me, so more. Nothing for you. Anything for me, baby. Something for you. Látàárọ̀.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered on air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today 95.1 FM.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
Hello and good afternoon. This is the World News on your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Annie Abdul Salam, and here are the headlines. Governor Nyesom Wike receives report from Judicial Commission of Inquiry that investigated human rights abuses, police brutality, and extrajudicial killings. Media expert calls for professional approach to handling civil matters by police. Kaduna State Governor Nasser El-Rufai laments over inability of state governors to make inputs in posting of commissioners of police to states. And on the foreign scene, President Joe Biden set to declare major disaster for Texas, clearing way for more federal funds. And now the details. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has said that the Nigerian Governors Forum endorsement of fresh withdrawal of funds by the federal government from the excess crude account will be contested. Governor Wike questioned how the $1 billion withdrawn from excess crude account in 2017 understands that it will be used to fund the fight against Boko Haram insurgents in the northeast was expended. The governor made the statement when he played host to the Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Bayero, who was on a courtesy visit to him at the government house, Port Harcourt. In a statement by the special assistant media to the Rivers State Governor, Kelvin Ebiri, the governor said he will not support the plan for a fresh withdrawal except Rivers State is given its 13% share from the account.
It's important that where we are now, everybody has, particularly traditional rulers, we have a very major role to play in ensuring that peace reigns in this country. This is the first time in Nigeria where we have so much ethnic divide, so much religious divide. It has never happened like this before. After the Civil War, Nigeria, people have seen Nigeria as one country. We are seeing ourselves as the same people. But what we are facing today is a different thing. We're not even talking about the issue of insecurity, but the issue of ethnicity, the issue of religion has taken the center stage in our life, which is not supposed to be. Today I was told that the governors agreed that they'll take money from excess crude to support military. What of the one they took before, the $1 billion that they gave to the military? Now again, this one, I told you, I've told you, you have to prepare. We'll go to court. I will not support that one. They said they'll give us our 13% first from that excess crude money.
On his part, the Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Bayero, said Governor Wike and other regional leaders should continue to ensure that the region remains a welcoming environment for all Nigerians to thrive.
We have therefore made it a point every time we meet with political or traditional leaders across the country to ask them to do all within their powers to make the challenges of today's life a bit more bearable for the common man. We believe your career path has granted you a broad national perspective and network that must be used to further knit the fabric of national development into a modern state for the generations to come.
Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has received a report from the Judicial Commission of Inquiry that investigated human rights abuses, police brutality, and extrajudicial killings by the disbanded police unit, Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SAS) in the state. The report was submitted by the chairman of the commission, retired Chukwu Nenye Uriri, at Government House, Port Harcourt. Governor Wike said the state government has done its part by setting up the commission and will also produce the white paper at the next meeting of the State Executive Council. The governor challenged the Inspector General of Police and the new Commissioner of Police to implement the white paper as a proof that the federal government was serious about ending such police brutality in the country. Justice Uriri said the commission received 190 petitions, struck out 82 for lack of due diligence or jurisdiction, and eventually considered 108. He stated that the figure depicts the highest level of recklessness, abuse of law and order in the country. According to him, the policemen who committed the crime against Rivers people, especially Mr. Akin Fakorede and his other cohorts, do not have any affinity with the state. Meanwhile, Governor Wike has named 5 members of the State Executive Council who will study the report and determine the content of the white paper. The members are the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, Professor Zacchaeus Adago, Head of Service, Rufus Godwin, Commissioner for Social Welfare and Rehabilitation, Inimi Chinwenu Aguma, Commissioner for Education, Professor Kanye Ebeku, and Commissioner for Energy, Peter Midi. A new commissioner of police, Eboka Friday, has assumed duty in Rivers State. CP Friday took over from Joseph Mukan, who was recently promoted to the rank of Assistant Inspector General of Police and redeployed to Zone 8 headquarters, Lokoja, as the zonal commander. In a statement by the spokesman of the command, SP Namdi Omoni, the new CP was the immediate past Commissioner of Police, Railway Police Command, from where he was found professionally competent and redeployed to Rivers State as the 42nd Commissioner of Police. Sipu Ebuka hails from Agbo in Ika South local government area of Delta State. A man identified as Eleruchi Awuzurike has allegedly been stabbed to death by one Chukwueze Ojirome in Ubima community in Ikwe local government area of Rivers State during a quarrel over a missing goat. Our correspondent gathered that trouble broke out when the late Awuzurike confronted Ojirome and accused him of stealing and killing his goat. A source from the community who confirmed the incident to our correspondent said Ojirome, upon hearing the accusation, took a machete and allegedly used it on Awuzurike severally, which led to his death. Our source disclosed that the members of local vigilante group in the community, OSPAC, apprehended the suspect and handed him over to the police division in Ubima. Meanwhile, the River State Police Command has confirmed the killing of one Samuel Awuzurike, who was allegedly hacked to death by Chukwueze Ojirome in Ubima community in the Ikwe local government area of the state. Omoni said the suspect, who is 23 years old, has been arrested and the body of the deceased deposited in the mortuary while investigation is ongoing, assuring that normalcy has been restored in the area.
I can confirm the unfortunate incident at Ubima, where one Chibeze Uchebu, without justification, gave several machete calls on one Samuel Awuzurike, which caused his death, unfortunately. Before this time, they had issues where the same suspect killed a female goat belonging to the deceased, and in further to that, he killed the man to death. This attracted the angers of the villagers, who resorted to using self-help and burning the house belonging to the suspect before the police arrived. However, we have been able to contain the situation and normalcy has so far returned. The suspect in question has been arrested, is being interrogated. The corpse has also been evacuated and taken to the mortuary while investigation is ongoing. So far, normalcy has been restored.
According to reports, the suspect had some days ago allegedly killed a female goat belonging to the deceased, which attracted the villagers resorting to self-help by burning the home of the suspect before the arrival of the police. Members of Rumo Alumini Akpo OSPAC have arrested 3 persons suspected to be members of an armed robbery syndicate, popularly known as One Chance, and internet fraudsters terrorizing the area. The suspects were apprehended by Rumo Alumini OSPAC while on stop and search duty along Nkwo Rumo Alumini Road. The 3-gang criminal syndicate, identified as Emmanuel Johnson, Peter John, and Priscilla Omoigbe, in their confessional statement, disclosed that their first operation was at Uniport Junction along East-West Road, followed by Rumoland of some parts of Port Harcourt. According to the leader of Rumo Alumini OSPAC, Ken Olumeni, the syndicate specialized in robbing innocent people of their phones, cash, and other valuables, noting that phones and a vehicle used in perpetrating the crime were recovered from them. Our correspondent reports that other items recovered from the criminals include ATM cards and hand gloves. Free flow of traffic is gradually returning around Port Harcourt International Airport Junction, Omagua, after members of Freight Forwarders Transport Association barricaded the road for several hours. Members of the association blocked the roads with their containers in protest against an attack on one of their members by security operatives at a checkpoint around the airport junction. Our correspondent Chinedu Iwuna, who was at the scene of the incident, reports that the incident took place last night after an argument broke out between a security agent and the driver. It took the intervention of the Ikwe local government chairman, Samuel Wonosike, for members of the association to open up the roads. Speaking with our correspondent, chairman of FFTA, Idris Ali, who lamented over continued harassment of their members by security operatives, said their member, who was attacked by the security agents, have been taken to the hospital and is responding to treatment. On his part, Ikwe Council boss Wonosike assured that the security agents involved in the said attack will be fished out and prosecuted. Our correspondent reports that the checkpoint and other makeshift settlement of the security operatives, which comprise police and army officers, have been destroyed by angry protesters. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU Uniport Chapter, Austin Sado, has insisted that it is the right of citizens across the world to protest in a non-violent way. Sado, in an interview with our correspondent Priye Izogu, said if the police can protect pro-government protesters, they should do the same to anti-government protesters and anti-government rally. He added that the police force needs to improve on their professional approach towards handling civil matters.
It is the right of citizens to protest. And if citizens organize themselves in a non-violent way, they are likely. I think even what happened, I think it was last week when the youth came out again, the police warned that nobody should come out, but they came out. But we didn't see that level of violence. We didn't see that level of, if you like, dealing with those people. And I think it will come, the culture will improve with time. if you are involved in any form of activism, one of the things you are told is never to be violent. Even when you see the police and they are violent, never to be violent. So I imagine that in future, when people protest and sit down on the road with their hands, maybe even behind them, and they sit down in that large number, it's not likely to degenerate into violence.
This reaction follows the growing concerns of civil and human rights abuses by security agencies across the globe. The people of Rundele community in Emoha local government area of Rivers State have expressed dissatisfaction over what they described as an untold political hardship and disheartened, which they are suffering from the current administration of Governor Nyesom Wike. The people complained about the bridge project link Abua and Abandele flagged off sometime in 2015, which is still at take-off stage due to the inability of the government to provide the funds for commencement of the project. In an open letter to Governor Wike, Rundele people questioned the rationale behind the release of funds for the building of infrastructures for the State University campus in Emoha, Ahoda, and Iche without considering the revival of the Ignatius Ajuri University of Education Rundele campus, which has been the demand of the people. According to the letter, signed by a few others who are the management board and members of Rundele Development Frontiers, the people also complained of having no internal roads in their community. You're listening to the World News on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, we've got more news, foreign and sports stories. Stay tuned.
Every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today 95.1 FM.
Welcome back. You're still listening to the World News here on Today 95.1 FM. It's 12 minutes after 12. Kaduna State Governor Nasser El-Rufai has continued to lament over the inability of state governors to make inputs in the deployment of police commissioners to states. The governor, who was speaking at an event in Lagos, said there is little the governors can do in terms of security when they're not in charge of the security architecture in their states. El-Rufai also criticized the frequent changing of CPs, which he said makes security operations ineffective.
There are certain things governors cannot do. Some of them we've alluded to by saying we don't control security agencies. So you're a chief security officer, but you can call the CP, and if the IG says don't talk to him, that's it. In 5.5 years as governor of Kaduna State, I've had 8 commissioners of police that have virtually no say in their posting and so on and so forth. How can you have security management if you change the frontline chief of security every 8 months? So I think when people talk of government, they forget that there are several governments in Nigeria, and it is important to locate responsibility where it is. There are some things that are beyond us. We want state police. Only the National Assembly can give us state police. There is nothing the governors can do. And these senators and House of Reps members were elected from states. Many of them got elected with our help and support. But when they go to Abuja, they can grow large head and will not barb their hair for 2 years, and they start thinking something else. I had one like that. I got him out.
A Port Harcourt-based meteorologist has attributed the recent surge of Harmattan in Rivers State on compounded black soot in the atmosphere. Director General of Geoscience and Environmental Management Akuro Gobo, who is also a professor of applied meteorology and environmental management at the Rivers State University, said the environment has been polluted by human activities.
This is Harmattan period, but the situation has become so glaring because of this black soot that is introduced to the atmosphere. Ordinarily, we would have been having this northerly winds blowing in, but it's become more pronounced. If not the black soot, we will be noticing the Harmattan blowing, but it will be clear air. You will see breeze blowing Harmattan, but clear. But this time, we are breathing the air that is already polluted, and there is so much health implication on it. The issue of climate change is still very prevalent because our environment has been so bastardized. Areas that hitherto we have trees planted. These days when the trees outlived their usefulness and we cut them down, no trees are planted again. You can recall in this country once when we are told, cut one tree and plant one. The environment is continuously deforested and we are not doing anything to conserve the environment.
Now to the foreign scene. United States President Joe Biden is set to declare a major disaster for Texas, clearing the way for more federal funds to be spent on relief efforts. Power is returning in the state and temperatures are set to rise, but some 13 million people are still facing difficulties accessing clean water. President Biden said he will visit Texas as long as his presence is not a burden on relief efforts. Nearly 60 deaths have been attributed to cold weather across the United States. Spokeswoman of the White House, Jen Psaki, confirmed that Biden has asked his team to speed up Texas' request for a disaster declaration. And in sports, Naomi Osaka has won her second Australian title after beating Jennifer Brady. The 23-year-old Japanese star claimed a 6-4, 6-3 win against the American to land her fourth Grand Slam title. Osaka has not suffered a defeat since February 2020. Her victory over Brady was her 21st consecutive match win. And now in entertainment, the head of music department at the University of Port Harcourt, Professor Ade Olula Akunade, has lamented the suspension of Canarive since the inception of the current administration of Governor Nyesom Wike. Professor Okunade, in an interview with correspondent Priye Izogu, said that the carnival helps revive traditional music and cultural heritage of the various tribes in the state. He added that the state government can expunge any diabolic ritual practices during the carnival.
What are the diabolic things that are attached to carnival? Let us be very sincere with ourselves. We are from water area, so we will dance on water. When you go abroad, they do games on water abroad. Is it diabolic? When you go to America, they say Halloween day. Okay, let us take it away, the fetish aspect, if at all. Let us take it, let us look at the art. Let us look at the entertainment. When you see the Brazilians, South Americans doing their carnival, see the costume they wear, see how beautiful those costumes are. Why can't you do something like that? Whether they do anything that is diabolic there, but you can't have government policies kill programs, how government policies kill heritage, how government policies kill innovations. Won't people, or were people not coming from outside Port Harcourt, outside us to watch carnival with them? People are coming. People are always looking forward to it. Is it the beautiful attire they are going to wear that we want to talk about? Is it the hairdo that people want to come and admire? Those who are not from here.
Kanade further appealed to the state government to create policies that will help revive traditional music and cultural heritage through primary and secondary school education in River State.
Go to faculty of education and go and ask questions there. There are students at undergraduate levels, at graduate levels, they are written about all these things. We can't buy cultural education because we cannot live in it. We can't buy cultural education, the Western education is there, the African education is there, especially history. America will not play with its history in the classroom. Here in Nigeria, I don't think history is compulsory. Thank God for historical center of Nigeria. They have been fighting. I think they succeeded. I don't know how far they have implemented it. So that is where it comes from. So it's from the government ministry to look into that when talk of cultural heritage.
To this end, to end the news, here is a summary of the major stories. Governor Nyesom Wike has received the report from the Judicial Commission of Inquiry that investigated human rights abuses, police brutality, and extrajudicial killings. A media expert has called for a professional approach to handling civil matters by the police. We told you that Kaduna State Governor Nasser El-Rufai has lamented over the inability of the state governors to make inputs in posting of commissioners of police to states. And on the foreign scene, you heard that President Joe Biden is set to declare a major disaster for Texas, clearing way for more federal funds. That was the news, as edited by Ifunanya Obeme Undukwe. For comments and inquiries, please call 0818-389-2850 or send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. And you can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. Do not forget, take responsibility. Do so by washing your hands frequently with soap under running water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your face and high contact surfaces when you're out and about to prevent the spread of coronavirus. I am Annie Abdul Salam. To have a great afternoon ahead.
News, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues, today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
This is Today 95.1 FM.